WMLN-FM 91.5 Milton, Boston. The South Shore's award-winning college radio station. Listen 24/7 from the WMLN app.
Yeah, baby.
Download it for free today from the Apple or Google Play Store.
Pombo and Milliken. Tuesdays, 4 to 7. Talking baseball, basketball, and football with just a little soccer and MMA in the mix. WMLN 91.5 Milton, Boston. Breaking sports news on Pombo and Milliken. 91.5 WMLN.
All right, Pombo Milliken, we're back. We got breaking news. So now,
right off the top.
Yep, former Patriots offensive tackle Trent Brown he's intending to sign a 4-year, $66 million contract that includes $36.75 million guaranteed with the Oakland Raiders, which would be the highest guarantee in NFL history.
Correct.
For an offensive lineman. This move shouldn't surprise anyone.
Nope. And according to Mike Girardi of NFL Network, the Patriots had zero expectation of keeping him. His departure and the money he's receiving is not surprising to them. So you would imagine left tackle position Isaiah Wynn will most likely take care of it. Former first-round pick. Missed all of last year with the torn Achilles.
Yeah, and you go ahead, you look at everything that happened with Trent Brown. The past couple of days, reports came out that he was going to wrap this up very quickly. It was going to be whoever submitted the highest offer. The Raiders hopped in. Patriots, we've seen a lot of their connection to out of the big two, out of Trent Brown and Trey Flowers. It's been mostly Trey Flowers, which even at this point seems a little unrealistic. But Trent Brown, it's a loss, but don't get me wrong, the Patriots have their depth around offensive line. It's not going to worry me too much. They've shown how often they can plug guys in and out. It's not fun to lose someone who's been a cornerstone for a few years, but it is what it is.
Yeah, this shouldn't surprise anybody. Trent Brown was awesome last year. He really performed. He exceeded expectations. He really performing the left tackle job just as well as Nate Solder had done previously.
I think better, if I'm being honest.
If not better, yeah, certainly better than Solder's last year. So it's definitely a win for him, and hopefully Isaiah Wynn can step in and perform good.
I think it'll come down. We'll see very quickly now that free agency is so close to beginning officially on the 4th. We have the tampering period right now. I think depending on how the Patriots see Isaiah Wynn, because we know there's some who believe he's a guard and not a tackle. I'm going to stand in the camp.
He's a little
short. Be a tackle.
Short.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are not scared of guys not fitting into your prototypical position. They wouldn't have gone that high with Wynn if they didn't see something special.
Yep. And just want to mention something off the top. So right now, as of 12 o'clock today, it was NFL's tampering period began, which means free agents can tamper and can talk with other teams, but they can't officially sign till Wednesday.
4 p.m.?
Believe so.
Yeah, so that's when you'll start to see a lot of different stuff. But the most exciting part, where you see guys, the big names start to move, a lot of them make their decisions during this period. Should we move on? I know there's not a ton in terms of Trent Brown to get overly excited for.
Yep.
But
want to move on to the other Patriots free agent?
Should we go to Trey Flowers?
Let's go to Trey Flowers.
Okay, so Trey Flowers. Oh, we got the go for the quote, Brophy.
For your New England Patriots, defensive end number 98, Trey Flowers.
I just want to say, thanks for everybody in the New England area, showing the Patriots support. We couldn't have did it without y'all. This number 6, we want 7.
That's a lot coming from Trey Flowers. He's a quiet guy.
Yep, so that was at a Springfield Thunderbird game. It's the AHL team. It's a professional team.
And, Trey Flowers coming out, calling we're together here. Makes me feel great, but now that his price continues to rise, people are getting excited. And I think there's going to be this three-headed titan of the Lions, the Dolphins, the Titans, the Patriots. All their old connections, They're going to be the ones kind of throwing money his way.
Not to mention, he reportedly wants $18 million.
Yep.
That's a lot of cash. A lot of cash.
Yeah, the Patriots definitely aren't probably going to go that route. I could see a team like the Lions or the Dolphins specifically. I think Brian Flores is going to throw a really interesting offer.
Yeah, I do too.
And we know Matt Patricia over there is just trying to recreate the Patriots. Unfortunately, not as good of a head coach as Bill Belichick, but collect any misfits that no longer fit.
Yeah. My take on... All right, so what do you think with Flowers? Do you think he gets the $18 million a year that he's I
think it'll be a little less than that. But without a doubt, Trey Flowers is going to get paid. We're seeing already with that market of edge rushers, a couple have already come off the board that people were expecting to be available. With Trey Flowers, do I think he's going to have as big of an impact in another spot? I think if he goes to somewhere like Miami, yes. Matt Patricia, yes. Titans is a whole different game with Mike Vrabel over there as head coach. But I don't think the Titans have been a little weird with dishing out money like that. We saw them... People were hoping they'd go out and make a big play for an offensive piece. The Lions have some money questionables. I think the Dolphins make the most sense. They got so much money to move around.
They've been rumored to be kind of clearing house in that defensive line position. Cameron Wake and just a few other guys in the pass rushing position. So I think they're certainly going to be in on him. I like Detroit.
Do you think Detroit's going to want to put that money?
Yeah, I think they would. Yeah, they have a lot of money to spend. I think the Jets are certainly going to be in there. They have over $80 million in cap space. It
pushed me back, though, the recent reports the past couple of days with the Lions being a little cautious with their money, not wanting to commit that much to one piece right away. I don't know if Trey Flowers is that guy. Yes, he fits in that defense for the Lions, but I don't think you dish that money out because he's not going to be the difference maker. He's not going to be the guy who turns this franchise around and makes them competitive again.
I agree.
And I think if you're going to put those weapons anywhere, yes, there was a talk about Matt Stafford. Oh, maybe they'll move on. Maybe they'll look in the first round for a quarterback.
I don't see it.
All the money they've put out there for Stafford, are you kidding me? Yeah. They're going to ride him until it comes to an end. Whether that ends without a Super Bowl, most likely. But I think, if anything, they need to start complementing that offense.
I agree. So, speaking of the Lions, they signed another former Patriot today, Danny Amendola, Tyler's guy.
Listen, I'll be the first one to take my L like a champ. I want to say it was right when Amendola signed his deal, I said 1 year from now he'll be back on the Patriots.
You did.
I believe that was what I said. Yep. Well, if you guys didn't need reassurance, I know nothing. So there you go. Listen, it was nice to see the reports coming out about Amendola. Both sides were mutually interested. Ultimately, I think the Patriots were going to pay him. He got what, $5 million?
I'm looking it up right now. I believe it's
4.75 or something like that. Yeah. It was right around there. The Patriots weren't going to go that high. Obviously, I don't think Danny Amendola is that good. But when you're a team like the Lions and you got to compete against someone like the Patriots, who Amendola has those nostalgic great memories of, money's going to be a pretty easy way to overcome that. Do I think he's going to make much of an impact? Nope. I think it's only here.
I think he's going to help that offense.
He'll be fine. He'll be a typical slot receiver. I don't think he'll be top tier. He had over 500 yards last year.
So for Amendola's deal, he can earn a max of $5.75 million.
Yeah,
with incentives and stuff, but it's right around $4 million.
It's a fine fit. I think it fits more into what Matthew Stafford has become in recent years. We saw him and Golden Tate together, and at least early on that was working well when he got away from just throwing the ball 50 yards down the field every time.
Yeah, he never really fit well in Miami. Didn't really click well with Ryan Tannehill. With
it was
Adam
a forced
Gase.
move. It was just them trying to grab a name off a Super Bowl team.
So Amendola reacts quick after getting officially released yesterday. Ends up in Detroit today. Just has to pass his physical. And
there was a picture that came out of him signing his deal this morning.
Yes.
The little picture and everything.
Yes.
I think, if anything, as much as I don't want to say this, I don't think the Patriots were really ever a serious consideration.
I agree.
I think it was one of those things where he was like, if everything works out, that's cool.
Well, the Patriots had their price. They have their price with everybody.
And that was the biggest issue before.
Maxed out their price.
Yeah. Last year, that was the same exact problem. The Patriots weren't willing to pay it. He felt disrespected. Then came the comments about it not being fun to play under Bill and all that other stuff. And
that's why I was more of the thinking that they'd move on from him.
Do you think Bill was willing to, if there was a money possibility that would have worked out there, do you think they could have figured it out?
They weren't going to go above $2 million.
But do you think him and Bill could have figured it out?
If the price was right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think Danny Amendola is a Patriot a year from now?
No.
Okay. Some people were talking about this. Listen, I'm not going to get on that horse, but I'm also not going to abandon the horse.
No,
I will keep the horse in my stable.
Danny Amendola will not be a Patriot again. Sorry, Tyler.
Okay.
I like Danny Amendola just as much as you do.
I know. I wasn't even a big Danny Amendola guy. I used to clown him all the time.
Oh, you
Little
did?
Broken body.
That's true.
Yeah. In the early years with the Patriots, watching with the Rams, he'd get touched and a body part would break off. Yeah. I don't think this moves the needle too much for the Lions.
Me neither.
Should we get to Earl Thomas?
Yeah, let's hit up Earl Thomas. So Earl Thomas, free agent safety. Obviously, the last time we saw him was getting carted off.
Broken leg.
Broken leg, and he threw the middle finger at the coaching staff. Mm-hmm. We famously remember, yes.
Yes, second broken leg for Earl Thomas.
Yep, something like that. So he's been linked to a few teams. Dallas.
I don't think Dallas.
Well, he's been linked to them. Yeah.
The thing with Dallas has pushed. We can kind of go down the list here. Everyone's been saying the connection because Thomas. Reports are that he wants to go play in Dallas, hometown team, whatever. Dallas just doesn't have the money. I don't think they can pay him. He wants to be the highest paid safety.
Well,
in the
Sean
league.
Lee just restructured it. So,
but at the same time, they have extensions for Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, DeMarcus Lawrence now. Those deals. DeMarcus Lawrence is the biggest concern. We have a guy who's on the verge of holding out. Yeah. I think they're going to dish that money out. I think there's more of a chance. This is probably a little spoiling for later, but I think Landon Collins might be a slightly better fit than
he's going to be more expensive, I think, than Thomas. Do
you think Landon Collins is going to end up demanding more?
Yeah, because I think the age. Collins is 26. Thomas is going to be 30.
I think what the issue with Landon Collins coming off, with the Giants, no matter what, he turned down, it was $11 million.
Yep.
I think with Collins is going to be a slightly pushed back effort on him since he is so young. He doesn't have the exact, 3 Pro Bowls?
Something like that.
Yeah, out of 4 seasons. I believe Earl Thomas is one of the only other safeties to get to that point. But I think with Landon Collins, he has not gotten to that point where he's considered the best of the best in the league.
Another thing to keep in mind here, it's a deep free agent safety class. Tyrann Mathieu, LaMarcus Joyner, Glover Quinn, Earl Thomas, Eric Weddle just got signed.
I think there's something to that Landon Collins case. There was a reason the Giants were willing to push back so quickly. It didn't even seem like they thought about it too much in terms of not extending the franchise tag. I think Earl Thomas going out there demanding the most money for a safety, I don't know if he'll get it. I think he's going to come close. I think Collins, he'll set the market. Collins maybe a little lower.
So Peter King wrote, he talked about how Houston could be an option, San Francisco, Dallas, and Kansas City.
I like, who I'm thinking for Earl Thomas? The Chargers.
Chargers?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Chargers coming off a day they just released him and everything that happened there. They're going to have a spot open. They were attached to Eric Weddle a lot once he immediately parted ways. So I think the Chargers may look at Earl Thomas as the piece that puts them over the top. He'll be kind of the game changer. I know a lot of people have been connecting Earl Thomas and the Chargers the last couple of days. I don't think the Rams are out of the possibility either.
I think, now with Weddle, I think they're probably
bringing in Weddle, that will probably, that's actually a fair point. So it would probably be the Chiefs. Chiefs aren't awful there.
So if you had to predict, who would you say?
I definitely go Chargers.
You're going to go Chargers?
Yeah.
I'm going to go a little bit different. I'm going to go San Francisco.
Really? You think
they have a lot of money
Richard
to
Sherman?
spend? Yep. He's buddies with Richard Sherman. I think he would benefit competing against the Seahawks twice a year in division. I think the 49ers have money to spend. I'm going to go with the 49ers.
The thing that pushes me off a little bit with the 49ers is just Richard Sherman has not exactly been great. Older player. Do you really want to start building off of the old Legion of Boom in San Francisco?
Well, that's certainly that's a case you could make.
I feel like
I just think they're at the point where they're going to spend money.
Do you think Earl Thomas as himself has a decent road left in him?
A little bit. I don't think he has much left.
Gotcha. No, I'm in the same place there.
And I think he's probably going to get overpaid.
Yeah.
By whoever he signs with.
I think that's why I think similar to how you mentioned with the 49ers, it's going to be a team that's kind of desperate, hoping that this is the piece that puts them over to the top. I don't think it does that for the 49ers. I think the Chargers are going to just do anything to escape the thought of what happened this past season, where they kind of, hype was around them all season and they fell flat on their face.
Could be. You want to move on to the next free agent?
Yes, we got Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell, yep.
I know
you have an interesting topic,
yes,
case on it.
So a lot of people forget the issue with Le'Veon Bell before a lot of the suspensions for marijuana and different stuff like that was guaranteed money. That was his major concern. Ended up having the whole holdout this entire year.
Sat out the entire year.
Yep. The year before it was also an issue.
Yep.
We remember all the quotes. Time was missed. Slow start to the season for Le'Veon Bell as well. Now we're looking at him here. Very different to the Antonio Brown situation where Brown had to get dealt. I think Le'Veon going out there, he's going to be looking for guaranteed money. I think that's what matters most. And I think the Raiders are the team who's shown they're not scared to throw any money out there at this point. They have the money to spend. They really have nothing to lose.
They just threw it out 15 minutes ago.
No, and there was reports saying they believe a very similar deal to as Antonio Brown just got. That's what Le'Veon Bell is going to get.
That's a lot.
I know, but those are reports coming out. And I know you've mentioned the Jets. I think the Jets are going to be a team.
So, I was just going to comment on that. So, according to Pro Football Talk,
go ahead.
The Jets are reportedly divided on pursuing Le'Veon Bell or not.
Because, you're going to either go one way. You go and get Le'Veon Bell. Right now, I feel like the Jets, they hoping to win next year, but not in a competitive, top of the line way. You go and get Le'Veon Bell, expectations change immediately. You immediately set the tone. You're going to be competitive at least by the end of next year. If you don't get Le'Veon Bell, you can admit you have the draft picks, you have a lot of money, you're waiting for your time to strike. I think for the Jets, it would pay off. I like the fact that they've been connected to the secondary running back market. I don't think Le'Veon's the guy you want to pour all that money in with such a young quarterback and everything. I think if you want to build longevity here, there's a different route.
So I think they should. Well, I like the fit with him at the Jets.
Uh-huh.
I think it would make a lot of sense. They have a lot of money to spend. I think he would help Sam Darnold in the passing game as well as the running game. But with the coaching staff and the GM being divided.
You don't like the Adam Gase, Le'Veon Bell thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that necessarily. So there's definitely other spots for Le'Veon.
Yeah,
I think the Eagles are a spot. I think the Colts are a spot.
I know you said you didn't like Antonio Brown with the Jets because of the egos.
I did not. No,
Do you
I didn't think it would work out well.
So you think Le'Veon's possible? There's a chance he could swallow his ego and play under Adam Gase?
Has a better chance than Brown, I think.
Okay. No, I got you. I think both of them. I think Antonio.
Both similar personality-wise.
Yes, I think Antonio Brown's kind of setting the mantra right now for.
Could
you
be.
control your future. You do what you do. Don't let anyone speak on you like that.
Could be.
I think Le'Veon. I like the fit with. It just feels he's gonna be able to do whatever he wants out there. Him and Antonio Brown. You're bringing a Steelers team that didn't win a ring, but you're bringing their main pieces over here, the guys who made Ben Roethlisberger a slightly above average quarterback these last few years. So what can they turn Derek Carr into? I feel like Derek Carr will take a big jump if he can get Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell.
He should definitely benefit.
If you don't, there's a real issue.
I think the Raiders are still going to draft a quarterback. Not saying in the first round, but they're certainly going to be in the market for a quarterback. But if you add Le'Veon to the Oakland Raiders here, you now have him, Antonio Brown. If Derek Carr can really develop, you have a good left tackle now in Trent Brown. Theoretically, you should be able to win more games. That division is very difficult. Kansas City's going to be there for many years. The Chargers will be there next year.
The Raiders have had one of the most lucky resets I've seen in a long time. After something like the Khalil Mack situation where he got moved out and deal didn't really make sense whatsoever, for them to be already, they've definitely given up a more future possibility of winning. But for right now, you get guys like Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's got a couple of elite years, I think, still in him. Le'Veon Bell will be that same case. You're at least putting yourself in a position where you can have those 2 years when it looked like it was going to be at least a 5-year rebuild. Yeah.
It's not over yet.
I don't believe Gruden believes in Carr.
I agree. I'm not totally sold on Gruden either. I think there's a long way to go with that. He had a real rough first year. He had such high expectations.
He said he came out of retirement for Derek Carr.
Yeah.
And then Derek Carr, listen, not that I'm not a believer in Derek Carr and I don't think he can be an average quarterback in this league, but if this is the guy you're coming out of retirement for, there's a reason you pump the brakes so quickly. And, we've heard the Kyler Murray love. I don't think he's not leaving that first overall pick. I'm pretty sure he's going to Arizona.
I got an update. It's not breaking news. Not breaking news.
Hold your fingers, Ben Brophy.
Hold it, Ben. All right, so this is from Josina Anderson from ESPN. She is told that there has been some level of discussion within the Bills on impending free agent Trey Flowers. A gathering of opinions was the tone conveying at the point. Other potential targets that piqued interest in similar discussions are mirrored in a tag situation. So the Bills are now in on Trey Flowers.
Ooh, the Bills.
Just
where the L's
up on the
collect.
timeline, and that's just what I said.
Yeah, Buffalo.
You see, Ben was ready, though, huh?
Yeah.
He had his trigger finger and everything. He was ready.
If they can land Trey Flowers, Buffalo's defense has been impressive for a couple different years now. They've had numerous names over there. You go and get Trey Flowers, it's exciting. Are you going to win? No. But it's fun to watch Logan Allen run around and fling the ball 60 yards down the field. I don't know. I'm not high on the Bills. It's pretty hard. Sean McDermott, don't get me excited.
I just wanted to report that. That's
it. It is what it is. Do you think Trey Flowers, if you were to go on a scale of, 1% to 100% chances of Trey Flowers coming back?
35.
Wow, that's actually higher than I thought. I'll go 20.
20? Okay.
What do we got next? We got Landon Collins. Do we got anything left on Le'Veon?
So where do you think he goes?
I think he goes to the Raiders.
I'm going to stick with the Jets for now.
Yeah, I think toss-up, honestly. Then we got, Landon Collins?
Yep, Landon Collins.
I'm going Cowboys.
All right, so Landon Collins got released by the Giants. A lot of people thought he would get, he'd end up re-upping there, and he didn't.
The Giants, it's impressive how often you guys fail to use logic.
So Landon Collins, he was a Pro Bowler last year. I think he's a 3-time Pro Bowler in 5 seasons or something like that. He's been rumored to be a landing spot for a lot of teams. Dallas, San Francisco, a lot of the teams that have similar safety needs. Houston, Washington, I've seen. But I think, in my opinion, the team that makes the most sense for him is Dallas.
No, I 100% agree. And I think the difference between Landon and Earl Thomas is going to take more money. I think that's why Landon Collins is going to fall in.
I think Collins is going to get more money.
You think on an annual basis or if we're talking long-term, I agree.
I think annual, yeah.
I think Earl Thomas is going to end up pulling out slightly more for annual because if Earl Thomas is the reason money-wise he can't go to Dallas, then it can't be Landon Collins.
I don't think that's – I think they're going to prefer Landon Collins over Earl Thomas. I think
really?
Yeah. In terms of age, I think that's big.
It fits more with their current dynasty build. It's just there's been so many rumors over the years of Earl Thomas, of the Cowboys liking Earl Thomas. We heard the trade talks last year.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're going to end up. I think Landon Collins has yet to prove himself to the degree that Earl Thomas has. Landon Collins dealt with some injuries. He's missed time. That's the only thing that kind of makes me take a step back.
There'll definitely be other suitors. Washington, who knows with them, though? They're always a wild card. Other teams, I think the Jets are going to be in on him. I could see a lot of teams, but I think his market's he's going to be the highest paid safety from this free agent class, in my opinion.
By how much?
A decent amount. Not a substantial amount, but probably 2 or 3. Probably 1.5 to 2 million in terms of annual money.
I feel like there's going to be a slight knockdown on Landon Collins. I truly do. There's something there for why the Giants didn't pull. And there wasn't that much league surprise by it. It was media surprise, but it wasn't league. So I think with Landon Collins, I think for some reason, I think he's going to go more years. It'll probably be a good amount of money set up.
He's 25.
Exactly. So as young as he is, Earl Thomas is 30.
He's going to be 30 in May.
30, yeah. So 30 right there. Obviously a huge difference at a position like safety where you need to be athletic. I think Collins is going to take more length over money.
So according to SpotTrack.com, it's good with cap and projecting people's contracts. They're projecting him at 5 years, $43 million, average annual salary of $8.6.
What we got Earl Thomas under?
I'm going to look that up right now.
Pull it up because I can't count for the life of me. But yeah, with Landon Collins, you're getting a piece there. The reason why there was so much confusion backing the Giants, you have a young piece like this, it looks like you're entering a little bit of a rebuild. You're in the midst.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. You said less years.
Yes.
It's 3 years, $30 million.
Yeah.
So $10 million, so $1.50 more.
That's what.
Surprised. I thought Collins, he was a premier safety last year.
If you could ask me who I'd take there, but he played 12 games last year?
Yeah, he got hurt.
Yeah. I think the conversation you look at there is as great as Landon is, he just doesn't have the track record. And we know, listen, I hate talking to players in the NFL. You 29, 30, keep me away. Unless you're Tom Brady, of course. But they're going to pay him solely based off the name. That's what it's going to be, And I just think he'll get that short term, but Dallas, they need long-term pieces. They're trying to build a serious quote-unquote dynasty.
They have so many great defensive players that are young. Jalen Smith, Van Der Esch is awesome.
These are recent drafts.
DeMarcus Lawrence, if they can figure it out, awesome.
Which they will.
I think they will. Yeah. Sean Lee, again, he's older, but
just
great piece.
If he can stay healthy, it's the same story it's always been.
And then if you add Earl Thomas or Landon Collins in the back end, you really have something going in that division. It's uncertain. Washington, who knows what the heck they're doing. I think the Giants, I think they're more in rebuilding mode, and I don't think Eli has enough to get it done. In Philly, who knows with Carson Wentz?
No, 100% agree. And I think Dallas, the reason why they're so caught up on extending these guys right now is because they realize, listen, no one's going to sit out here and act like Dak is elite.
And they haven't paid Dak yet. That's another thing.
He's off his rookie deal. Yeah. So, and Zeke's coming up in another year. There's a lot of contracts that need to go out. They like what they've built here. Dallas is very confident in it, and even though a lot of people don't want to give them credit, this organization has been run very well the last few years.
It has, yes, and Colin Cowherd.
Yeah, that's what, honestly.
Yes, he has talked about that numerous times. He goes, Tyler, you want to do his impersonation?
No.
No?
Wait,
come on, Tyler. The people want it.
Hello? No. No, I don't got anything. I'm not funny.
You're not funny, Tyler. That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
So, moral of the story is...
The Cowboys, they've been doing something right. You may not notice, it's something right. Colin Cowherd out here. That was garbage.
Player movement, mobility.
Yes. Please, move around. Don't stay in one place. You know what I did? I'm on my 4th job. ESPN.
How many divorces, Tyler?
I saw a picture of his kids. His son looks just like him.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my. Have you seen his new Twitter picture?
Oh, I'm going to look it up right now.
I'm telling you, Jason, you're going to be like, wow, that is Colin Cowherd's kid.
Oh, my gosh. The kid looks...
They're the same. Yeah. They're like 110 pounds. Shout out Colin Cowherd and your family, man. They're beautiful.
The herd.
Yeah, both wives or former wife, new wife, whatever. Whatever it may be. All right. Who do we got next? Golden Tate. We hit Collins. We hit Trenton Brown earlier in the show.
Some Golden Tate, yes. He's the best receiver on this free agency class. He's been linked to the Patriots. He talked about, he went on a podcast and he talked about how he would like to catch passes from Tom Brady. Could that happen? What do you think?
I'm not in love with the idea of it. Do I think it's impossible? No. I think Trent Brown. I think Golden Tate could fit in there, but you have a Julian Edelman type. I've never fallen super in love with Golden Tate because they just remind me so much of each other.
So I like Golden Tate, the player, a lot. I just think because he's the number one receiver on the market, he's going to get paid. That's just where I stand with that. I think he's probably going to get between $9 and $10 million, and I don't think the Patriots are going to be willing to do that.
No, it doesn't make much sense because you look at Golden Tate, he's 30 years old.
Yep, he's been around. Remember, he was with Seattle way back when.
You know who I'm starting to really attach him to? The Jaguars.
Jaguars, huh?
Yes. I don't think that's a crazy fit. I think they're going to immediately be looking for help for Nick Foles out here. I think you get a guy like Golden Tate. He'll be the security blanket. We saw when Nick Foles was there, obviously. Oh, we got it.
We got to hit it, Ben. Hit it.
Oh.
Breaking sports news on Pombo and Milliken, 91.5 WMLN.
So this is from Jeff Howe from The Athletic. It is nothing official. So that he goes, quote, "The Giants are still involved in trade discussions with Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh.
According to a source, one of the league's best wide receivers remains on the market."
And that is a fascinating story for the New England Patriots right there, who, what was it, about a month ago, the first reports came out about how close they were to actually acquiring Odell Beckham through trade. Wow. Jason, is Odell Beckham Jr. a Patriot by the start of this upcoming season?
Are you asking me?
Because I know that smirk on your face.
I think there's a chance.
Jason, where there's smoke, there's fire. Every single time.
I think there's a chance.
I agree with you.
I really think there's a real chance.
You think that report just came out to come out?
Well, look who's reporting it.
Exactly.
Jeff
Former
Howe,
Patriots inside, or he still is, but with the Athletic.
Yeah, so
he was Nesson before?
No, he was, The Herald.
Yes, the Herald. There we go. Keep going.
So my take on Odell is he's available. I know the GM, Dave Gettleman, talked about it last week, how we wouldn't have re-signed him just to trade him. But I think it's a real possibility they move him if they're blown away by an offer.
No, 100%. And
I think there's a 40% chance he gets moved.
I think you look back to the Landon Collins, letting him go. They don't feel an attachment to this core.
We were just talking about receivers. So if you're the Patriots, would you rather sign Golden Tate for $10 million, or would you rather give up a first-round pick for Odell Beckham?
What's poppin', Odell? How you doing, bro?
I think I agree.
Come chill in New England. Hey, man, you won't hurt your eyes looking at the sun here. It's not like Cali. You can't live with Drake here. But, hey, WMLN, we have spots open. You want to come stay at the station?
Call in whenever you want.
Wherever you want to go. You want a weekly show spot? You want to come talk?
Sit right here.
Come on, come join us. Sit right next to intern Nate.
Make sure it doesn't fall. But what was I just going to say? Crap.
Something about Odell.
Yep, I know. Did you see what he commented on Brady's Instagram picture?
No. What did he say?
So Brady put an Instagram picture of, you know how we sponsored by the Aston Martin, the car? Yep. So Brady put a picture of it, and he was like, new model, I need to get a new garage, haha, whatever. Some corny dad joke.
Yeah.
Whatever. So Odell was like, wow, like, I got to try that. And Brady said something along the lines of, come up to Foxborough and I'll let you drive it.
Hey, man, listen, Odell knows what's happening out here. If Odell Beckham Jr. becomes a New England Patriot, you think the Patriots were hated before? Oh, people are going to spit on us in the streets. But you're telling me I get to go watch Odell make one-handed catches?
Would you flex with that jersey, Tyler?
That would be the only fit. Jake has swag too, bro. I know he's copping that Odell jersey. Yeah. Everyone's going to flex that. It would be ridiculous. And listen, number one, Odell, you should have a Tesla. Doesn't Odell Beckham scream Tesla to you?
He's unique, so yeah.
Whip it in the Tesla, bro. I'd take a Tesla.
Would you? You know, the Saturn?
Hey, man, the Saturn's on its way.
I pulled up right near you today.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. No, but in all reality, I think Odell Beckham Jr. would be a great fit here. The Patriots, when they circle back to players, that says something. You know, that's no coincidence. That means they believe they can truly fit in this system, that they can have a place on this franchise. That's what makes me keep looking back, because anytime the Patriots have recircled before, it's usually been pretty good.
It's interesting. I think it was true that they had interest in him last year.
Yep.
I think that is 110% true.
Do you believe that as close of a deal as it was, you think it was that close, or it was exaggerated?
It was close, but I don't think it was that close. I think they were in serious discussion. I really do.
The way the report did it was simple. You know, are we good? And the Patriots said no at the last second. No. I think the Patriots are always going to go out there and act. They don't let other teams know what's happening. They don't know what position, how they feel about it. But if you end up landing Odell Beckham Jr., Super Bowl is going to be lit next year, man. Super Bowl is going to be real lit. What we got, Ben Brophy? Price for OBJ? No, trade-wise.
So, yeah.
You're going to... Listen, I don't think the Giants have a ton of leverage here. I truly don't.
Well, it depends. He hasn't asked for a trade yet.
He hasn't, but we all know around the league that the Giants are interested in moving him. We've heard it a couple times.
I think it's probably beneficial for the Patriots if he doesn't, because then if he does, there will be more teams circling him.
I also don't think the Patriots, for Odell Beckham Jr.'s brand, if he continues to voice, he wants to be out of the Giants, people are going to feel some type of way about that.
Do you think coming to the Patriots would hurt his brand necessarily because you leave New York?
I think it'll... No.
And New York's so big market, brand heavy.
Listen, I think if Odell comes here, look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady's on the cover of Madden. He's done his thing. He's been as big as anyone. You get Odell and he becomes Tom Brady's man. It's never going to be Randy Moss, Tom Brady again, but anything half of that, then you're talking about his celebrity status will jump to a new level.
I've mentioned it before. Odell's contract is affordable in terms of he got his signing bonus already. I think you have an opt-out after 3 years, or it might be 2 years, actually. It's something like that. I'm pulling it up now.
The Giants just don't like the core they've built. It's obvious, or parts of this core. They've had the new face come in, Saquon Barkley, come do his thing. They look like they want to keep building towards him. But when he's become kind of the focus over Odell Beckham Jr., that's crazy. They part ways with Landon Collins when he could have easily just been franchise tagged for another year on a team that we know is not going to be super competitive, but they could use any piece they get, and they have the money to throw out there.
And who really knows if Odell's really about winning?
Which I think he is.
Structures.
No, I think Odell at this point he's accomplished everything brand wise. He's
you think
huge.
so?
Dude, he was on the cover of Madden. You know what I mean? He hangs out with Drake. Like, there's not too many guys. Out of wide receivers, is there another guy who's a bigger star than Odell Beckham Jr.?
So if you survey
just
100 random people,
culture, brand,
he's right up there. If he's not one, he's two. He's right there. I think Brown's up there.
But before all these situations with the Steelers and forcing his way out, you definitely would have said Odell Beckham. Not even a conversation. We're not talking great wise.
I agree with you. I agree with you because Antonio Brown. All right,
they both have a Madden cover.
I agree. So do you know that show on Fox now with Antonio Brown? It's like The Masked Singer.
Yes.
So Brown was on it, and nobody knew who he was.
But Odell was on that freestyle
nobody
show.
Nobody knew. Everyone's like, who's this guy?
What was that freestyle show Odell was on recently?
I'm not sure. Do you know it?
It's one of those new shows.
Ben's looking it up.
Yes, thank you, Ben. I believe he rap battles Shawn Mendes on it.
Oh, yeah?
And people like...
wasn't Lonzo on that show?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it.
It was trending on YouTube when Odell did it. Odell's just one of those guys. What is it, Ben? You got it? Yeah, I can... No, that's not it. Oh, up here. Oh, nope. I just screeched. Wow. Drop the mic. That's what it's called.
Drop the mic?
I swear I've gone through
What's
puberty.
it on? What is it on, like MTV or something? Is MTV still a thing?
TBS. MTV?
Is that still a thing?
Jason, how old are you, man?
Hey.
God. You didn't watch that Jersey Shore reunion this past year?
I did not.
Talk about a lame.
I did not. I missed out.
But no, I think Odell's just one of those guys. He's going to have more clothing base around him. He wears the hip things. Not that Antonio Brown doesn't with his mustache and everything, but he's just not as exciting. Antonio Brown runs great routes. You know what that sells? It sells for football numbers. People like the sport. People outside the sport, Odell got the cool hair. Homie looks like a model. Like, nice fit all the time. Parties with Drake.
Yeah, didn't he live with Drake?
Yeah, they stayed together. I think it was up in Calabasas.
How do you feel about that? You cool with Drake now?
Yeah, man, I've always.
I know you're a big
Drake.
Kanye guy. So
I am a big.
There's a rivalry.
I was a big Kanye guy. I have pulled.
Oh, it's like a love-hate relationship.
Yes,
like I'll talk to Tyler, he'll be like, "Oh, I love Kanye," and then tomorrow he'll be like,
"Kanye's who I am." I legitimately would not have a personality without Kanye West.
My brother does not like Drake. I put Drake in the car yesterday, and he was like,
"Bro, you can't hate on Drake when he's a product of Kanye."
My brother hates on Drake.
Like, that's what people don't realize. Everything Drake is because of Kanye. So you got to pay your respects. Do I think Drake's as oversaturated mainstream as anyone? Yes. But there's a reason he hasn't got that old that the Migos have. Okay,
Tyler got his 30 seconds of
music talk.
Music talk.
Well, that's it. That's my career. That's my value to the show.
What were we talking? Oh, yeah, we were talking Odell. So I think we probably get a break, and then we're going to want to talk some Michael Bennett.
Yeah, we'll talk Michael Bennett. We got Nick Foles, too.
Yep.
All right, so we'll catch you on a few. Take it away, bro.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.
All right, Pombo. You feel more energized this week? The show's early.
I'm feeling good.
We're on spring break. We survived, from the way we did the show last semester.
I usually come on the Tuesdays, and I'm tired.
Yeah, last semester we didn't know if we were going to make the next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at us now. Now, let's get into Nick Foles. So reports have come out that he's going to be signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Money's still being worked out according to those reports, so nothing's in final.
That was probably like 10 days ago, so we don't know if anything's really...
And there haven't been reports following it, so it could be up in the air. I do think Nick Foles is going to end up in Jacksonville.
Do you?
Yeah, do you?
I'd probably tend to agree with you, yeah. I think there's an outside chance for another team to get involved.
I think the only way the Jaguars end up hurting themselves here is if they look at it, there's really not another fit for Nick Foles besides maybe Washington. But now that Washington has Case Keenum, that falls out. So that was the prior situation.
Get me started on that. We'll talk about that after Bennett.
We got to hit Case Keenum. But with Nick Foles, you kind of have a situation where there's not many opening jobs.
Miami is another one no one's really talked about.
There have been talk that Ryan Tannehill might get in the boot finally after that awful extension he signed a few years back. But I don't think Nick Foles would be the guy they'd go to. I think that's accepting you keep going down the Ryan Tannehill route. That's another mediocre quarterback that ain't going to push you over. The difference between the Jacksonville and Miami is Jacksonville's a mediocre quarterback from at least being competitive again.
So Jacksonville's at the state where they have a good defense.
We'll see how long Jalen Ramsey wants to be there.
Yeah, but in terms of personnel, they have a good defense, so they feel like they're in win-now mode. So Nick Foles gives them the best opportunity to win now,
healthy this year,
opposed to drafting a quarterback in the first round who's going to take a year or two to develop.
Yeah, and I think if you go and get Nick Foles, you still definitely draft a quarterback.
And Doug Marrone doesn't have much time.
No, he doesn't. But if you go and get Nick Foles, you have a guy who's going to be a stopgap for probably 2 years. Is he going to push you over the top? Nope. But, they got to an AFC Championship game with Blake Bortles. You get Nick Foles, you can kind of let him mentor. He's been known to work really well with guys.
Would you rather have Nick Foles or Ryan Tannehill?
Nick Foles.
I agree.
Yeah. Ryan Tannehill's garbage to me. Listen.
I'm not going to ask you about Blake Bortles because I already know how you feel about
Blake Bortles.
Where's Dylan? Where's Dylan?
Shut your mouth.
Where's Dylan?
Dylan's trying to tell me, average quarterback. Shut up, Dylan. He's not average. This dude's bottom of the barrel. Yeah, I like Nick Foles there. I think he'll be just serviceable, but that's all they need. They need someone to hand the ball off to Leonard Fournette.
Do you think they can have success with him?
Yeah, I think they could win 9 games.
Do you? I feel like Nick Foles might come back to earth.
No, I do too. I just don't think they'll give him the ability to really expand too much. They're just going to keep him as a typical system quarterback the whole year. Because no matter what, the big reason Foles survived, people forget, he tossed off in St. Louis at the time. They didn't want anything to do with him. Now, there was no one really starving. The reason he went back to the Eagles is just it was where he was familiar. They thought they could find something there. Nick Foles ain't going to be surrounded with the same coaches. Those are the guys that made him who he is. He won't be that in another organization.
I agree.
Should we get Case Keenum over here?
Yeah, we'll talk some Case Keenum.
How'd you feel?
Awful.
Yeah,
God. Awful. I don't know if anyone saw me on Twitter.
Congrats to mediocrity.
I was very unhappy. I shouldn't say unhappy. All right, my whole thing is Alex Smith is probably out forever for at least the next year and a half, right? So, whatever. You need to replace him.
McCoy's down, too. People forget that.
You have a good first-round pick here. You have a mid, like 15, 16, whatever it is, 12, 13, whatever it is, something stupid like that. You have the ability to draft a quarterback. You have an ability to go after another quarterback, Nick
Josh
Foles.
Rosen.
Acquire Josh Rosen if moved. Instead, Tyler, you're going to go for the opposite of Alex Smith. Pretty much his duo is Case Keenum.
You know what they say about Case Keenum?
What do they say, Tyler?
He's gritty, Jason Pombo. Undrafted. Case Keenum. No one believed in him. Showed up with the Texans and proved himself. Couldn't find a spot.
That's a joke.
No, I 100% agree. Listen, if you're the Redskins, when you went and got Alex Smith, that was a hard enough pill to swallow for a lot of people. You're admitting, listen, we all know what Alex Smith is. He's the definition of slightly above average to average. He's never going to get you where you want to be, but he'll make you competitive enough where you can sell tickets and you won't be a bottom of the barrel franchise. You'll just be right in the middle, another useless team people forget about. Now you go and get the poorest version of Alex Smith and Case Keenum. Listen, I think you look at Nick Foles and Case Keenum, right? Mm-hmm. Nick Foles is just about on pace with Alex Smith. I think sometimes
I'll take full. I
think he can be in high-end Alex Smith. You've seen the Super Bowl run sometimes.
Yes.
What is Case Keenum? The complete opposite. He's a low-tier version of Alex Smith who struggles sometimes to move the ball up and down the field, who can't hold on to the ball that well, tends to turn over the ball a lot, doesn't get well with teammates. Arguably Alex Smith and Nick Foles' biggest strength. He just doesn't connect with people.
Yeah, Washington's a mess. They're made of mediocrity, and that's what they're going to continue to be. It's a joke. It's ridiculous. Now, good luck going 8-8 next year.
That's all they wanted.
And the year after. So I have an update on your guy, Earl Thomas.
Go for it.
According to Jane Slater of NFL Network, he is rumored to want a 2-year, $30 million deal, so $15 million per. I'm not giving that to him.
I wouldn't either. I think he's definitely going to get the higher annual value out of probably anyone in this class, but I think the 2 years says a lot. He might see himself as having a smaller window than even some projected for him, and who knows what he was told after his surgeries, what he can handle, what he can't, because he's had so many different injuries over the years.
Sorry to take away from your Case Keenum thunder.
It's okay. I think I like the Chargers still for a fit for him, but Earl Thomas is a different subject. Case Keenum himself, it's just, I agree with you. Another season of disappointment. Not going to move the needle one way. If anything, Denver, once again, we called you stupid when you did it last time. You're stupid once again.
You talking about Washington?
No, Denver, when they went and got Case Keenum.
Yeah. Okay.
When Denver went and got Case Keenum before, we sat here. We said this wasn't going to push the needle.
With Denver getting Flacco?
No. When Denver went and got Case Keenum.
when they did last year.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go. Thank you, Jason, for clearing me up.
All right.
No, when Denver went and got Case Keenum last year, we said the same thing. This wasn't going to be the move to push anyone over the top. You're committing to being average, and you're going to hope your defense can carry you.
Yes.
Well, Washington doesn't have that, so you're just going to be average, probably worse than average.
Yes.
What's your win total? I'm going to go 6 games.
For Washington? Or
Maybe.
Denver? Washington?
I'll go 5.
6.
6? There you go. All right, what do we got next, Pombo?
Let's talk some Michael Bennett.
Okay. Exciting. Super exciting.
You're excited?
You want to break down the story?
Yes. So, Michael Bennett, former Seattle Seahawk, former Philadelphia Eagle, over the weekend was dealt to the New England Patriots. He, coming off a great year, he had, I think, 8.5, 9 sacks.
With limited play, I think he played about 69% or 70% of the plays he had done the year before in terms of a capacity.
Yep. He's 33 now. He had 9 sacks last season. He had 8.5 the year before. Both of those marks would have led the Patriots. He also had 30 quarterback hits last season, according to Mark Daniels of the Providence Journal. So the Patriots, I think it was for, a 3rd-round pick?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm a liar.
No,
it was for a 5th-round pick, and they got a 7th-round pick back.
And you look at that, so Patriots moved, and it was a 2020 draft.
Correct.
Moved a couple rounds back, and you get a guy like Michael Bennett.
And he's on a contract for the next 2 years.
And now, not only does this deal, it gives you protection for Trey Flowers, but at the same time, now we're hearing a lot of rumors about maybe Michael Bennett wanting to come back.
Martellus.
There we go, the tight end.
Yeah.
Yes, we all know their brother is super outspoken. But when you look at Michael Bennett, I think he's a great fit here. Yes, he's a little older at this point in his career, but as productive as he's always been last year, if not more in lesser playing time compared to his Seattle days.
So he's certainly going to help the pass rush, even in a limited role. If anything, I think it means Adrian Claiborne is most likely to get cut.
I think he's just the perfect fit for Bill right now for where he's at. He knows no one's expecting Bennett to be the Bennett of old, but he could still be extremely productive. It's just you got to know the spots where to play.
I was hoping he was going to restructure his deal, but apparently he wanted a raise. He's certainly not getting a raise.
No, you can stop. Well, when you look at his numbers last year with lesser playing time, they were as good as his full season. Not when he was playing as many snaps as he did with Seattle. He was putting up the similar numbers.
So
that was a big game changer.
He's due $6.2 million this year and $7 million next year, and then he's a free agent in 2021.
Yeah, listen. Good leadership. He'll come in. He'll be loud. I think the Patriots defense could probably use that. Not that Trey Flowers was ever a super loud guy.
Are you worried about his relationship with Greg Schiano? Because apparently it wasn't a good one.
Yeah, he was there, Schiano's last year in Tampa.
Yeah, and he said some unkind things.
He was right there in the bunch of quotes that came out about him wanting to be or Schiano wanting to be a Bill Belichick figure.
Yes.
Listen, I think they'll work it out. Michael Bennett's going to realize quick it's going to be a different system here. I picture him as the typical veteran who used to mouth off, who will come here and be a regular player and not speak up.
I agree. I think that's how it's going to go. Do you have any interest in Martellus Bennett?
You know what? With Dwayne Allen going down, I do. Or not going down, going to Miami. I think that's a fine move. You could bring Bennett in. He's going to catch some balls, but we know how great of a blocker he is at the same time. Dwayne Allen served that role, wasn't catching a ton of passes either. You can get him. What was Martellus, right? The contract.
He flaked of Green Bay. He flaked out of there.
They had the whole situation over there. We remember. We know. You come to New England, you leave, you realize how quickly you want to be back here.
Yes.
I think Bennett will come in. I think he can serve an easy role. And yes, he's older, but he brings a veteran presence that the Patriots are obviously going to be in love with.
Yeah. If Bennett's available and the price is right, I say why not? Because right now,
it's the brothers.
It's the brothers. Right?
They're going to make it work.
I think there's a decent chance he comes back. I don't think it impacts Gronk at all. Mm-hmm. And even if Gronk does come back, I think you can still have Bennett on the roster.
That's another thing we got to talk about in a few minutes. The reports that came out regarding Gronk.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I think Martellus Bennett could be a solid fit here. He'll play a role just similar to Dwayne Allen, and I think you'll do it for definitely less money.
Yeah.
Unless Martellus is on that Rays mindset like his brother Michael. But you sat out a year, and when you left, there were so many injuries on you that people were curious if you were going to be able to play again, even if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I'm excited. I think there's a lot more moves to come. What else we got? Should we go right into Gronk before we hit Antonio Brown?
Yep, that's fine.
So yeah, reports came out this week that what people were seeming to feel was Gronk was leaning the other way against retirement, right? Jason, I know you were very adamant throughout the year that you believe Gronk was retiring this offseason.
Things have changed.
Is this what you're hearing as well?
That's what I think.
Speak.
That's what I think. I think things might have changed. I think he
you
had
win a
fun
Super
last
Bowl,
year,
things switch
and
up
I think
quick.
he might want to come back.
Listen, it's rough in the middle of the season. What Danny Amendola said, I guarantee Gronk feels the same way. From when he left New England, where he was.
I truthfully think at the time during the season, Gronk wanted out or he wanted to retire.
100%.
But I think things might have changed. It's not official yet, but here's something very, very, very telling. What's today, Tyler? Free agency starts Wednesday.
Yep. So
Looking
what's
for
today? Monday the 13th at 4 p.m.
Yes. So the tampering period has already began, and Gronk is still on the roster. He's still getting paid this and that.
Started
I feel
at noon.
like he would have
Stay tuned.
already retired, and they would have got, in terms of money, they would have had a cap relief.
Yeah, they would have made their decision if there was the chance that it could come off and they
Yes.
weren't going to stall out.
Yes. So I feel like I think he's coming back.
No, I agree with you there. Listen, I know people were talking about early in the offseason, he was showing up, he was getting treatment done. You know, that happens after a Super Bowl run, anything like that, retirement or not. But it kept saying Gronk's attitude when he was there was amazing. All we heard before was Gronk was unhappy.
He had fun, and I think Brady wants him to come back, and he's not playing anywhere other than here.
And they don't expect what they once expected.
No,
Gronk knows.
He's still a great blocker. He's a good pass catcher. He's not the Gronk of old, but he can still get it done.
Big catch. He had arguably the two biggest catches in the entire postseason
Exactly.
run. You know, no matter what, if you have to save those bullets to the end of the year, people are going to be fine with that. The Patriots are looking to draft a young tight end in this draft who can go out and take those hits for him. Gronk's going to sit here and win as much as he can. You know, he cares about his legacy as much as people want to say, you know, Gronk isn't a serious guy. Don't get me wrong. With all the surgeries he's come back from over the years, for him to keep playing, this football isn't just some game.
I think there's a good chance he comes back.
No, agreed. And I think he'll play a role. People are going to over-expect as usual. Probably be the same stories a year throughout this season, but he knows what he's expected, and the Patriots know what to expect from him.
I agree with that.
Antonio Brown?
Yep.
Okay.
He is now a member of the Oakland Raiders.
Yes. So, Antonio Brown, let's go down the checklist here, right? What did Antonio Brown want? More guaranteed money.
Correct. He had zero. I don't think he had any guaranteed money.
So, the way the Steelers do it,
deal.
it's only the signing bonus.
Right,
That's
yeah.
all they ever
And
guarantee.
they already paid him that,
Yeah,
right?
that was the issue with Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon
Yes.
Bell wanted more guaranteed money to go risk his body out there. You look at Antonio Brown. What did he get out of this trade? He wanted to be out of the Steelers franchise.
We almost took that L though, huh?
Huh? I don't think so.
With Buffalo?
Huh? Listen. But what
We gotta hit on that part first.
No, what Antonio Brown did there, saying he wouldn't go to Buffalo, is exactly what NFL players need to start to do.
That was such a.
It was an NBA-esque move.
That was interesting.
You want me to come play? No, I'm not going to Buffalo. What's in Buffalo? Listen, Antonio Brown is a mogul. I sound like Colin Cowherd. He is. Antonio Brown is on Madden covers. He dyed his mustache blonde. He does countless.
Is that what he is?
That's what people have been making fun of him for.
You know what? I noticed that. I wasn't sure if that was like a Photoshop issue.
No,
He actually did that.
He did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's blonde. Look, he's appearing on The Barbershop with LeBron and his whole crew and all that. He's done stuff in Hollywood. He's on the cover of Madden. Antonio Brown isn't a regular player in this league. He's a guy who
Yeah,
went.
you are right. It is blonde.
Yes, he went and carried Ben Roethlisberger since he got to the league. Ben Roethlisberger, at least dating back 3 to 4 years, would not be an average quarterback without Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. He would not. I think. Would you agree with that? I think he'd be average at best.
Yeah. Brown, Bell, Smith-Schuster. They've certainly all helped.
Juju's come in the recent years and really made a surge. Antonio Brown has been the consistent force, and then you have your GM of the Steelers. Colbert comes out and says it's Ben Roethlisberger and 52 other guys. Excuse me.
That's a bad look.
It's 52 other guys. Your quarterback, Big Ben, has had rape allegations. He's been called out for leadership before. He's gone out and called other players out for issues before. Don't get me wrong. Antonio Brown, is he dysfunctional sometimes? Yep. But what is he? He's been the best wide receiver of this generation, arguably.
Yeah, you could argue that.
Yeah.
For sure.
As dominant as any wide receiver the last 6 years. So you know what he did? He didn't let the NFL bully him. He didn't. The Steelers weren't going to bully him. They tried to knock down his value so many different times as all these different reports came out. And you know what we're finding out in the last couple of days? That a lot of teams were consistently checking in.
Yeah.
We remember heading down to Buffalo. After Buffalo, people were saying, what is left out there? What is left? Antonio Brown's over in Oakland. He'll be in Las Vegas in a couple years, technically.
Yeah.
2 great markets to be in for what he wants to do.
Imagine so, yeah. I would think
More money. Mm-hmm. He's now the leader on that offense for the Raiders.
Yep.
The ability to attract other teammates with a Raiders franchise who, listen, yes, they're on the come up right now. They're not as winning as they are. But what did he win with the Steelers? Nothing.
No, absolutely
so
nothing.
There's nothing to cling on to the Steelers there. You're looking at a window that's closing because you know what this team has drafted in recent years for quarterbacks? Mason Rudolph. Before that, Landry Jones, Jason Pombo.
Oklahoma, right?
Oh,
Oklahoma.
my God, help us.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Right. Look what's come after him.
Yeah.
Please, listen. Antonio Brown went. He got everything he wanted out of this deal. He's completely changed the landscape for NFL players. There were countless players this past week tweeting out, wow, this is how guys should handle themselves.
I do have some info on the Raiders.
Go ahead.
Since we're on the subject. Does not involve your guy Brown.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I lost it.
Nope, Jason.
Give me a minute.
Get out of the studio.
Stall.
But with Antonio Brown, listen, he's just changed the game completely for NFL stars.
So, according to Chris Mortensen, the Raiders aren't likely to pursue Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, there we go. So that takes my take away.
Sorry, Tyler.
No, that's fair. But you look at the money, people were drawing the lines up. They come out and say that reshapes this whole entire conversation. That's reports.
I can't believe the package the Steelers got returned. A third and a fifth, that's bad.
That's bad. How did Antonio Brown finish it?
The Steelers had no leverage.
Yes.
They had no leverage.
So Antonio Brown forced his way out, got everything he wanted, and sent the Steelers home with 2 L's.
The one thing I'm curious is what the Bills package was. I am curious. I heard, I don't know if it's true, if it was a switch of first-round picks. I don't know if it was true.
Did you hear the interview coming from Antonio Brown's agent on NFL Network? He said they were never, from what he said, it never got past the Steelers and the Bills. That's what he said.
What do you mean?
In terms of the conversation was Antonio Brown said no.
Only the 2 teams know. Nobody else knows.
No. So when they were talking, it never got to the point where Antonio Brown was saying no.
Oh, I don't believe that.
I agree with you, but the agent said that. So there's something there.
I don't know.
I don't feel like he would just. There's no point in lying.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the thing. So that's what makes me take a step
Brown
back.
I think wanted to be a Raider all along. So
100%.
Yeah.
He's gotten everything he wants. He took the W. You know why? Because you had a franchise here who was trying to limit Antonio Brown because they didn't like how he acted.
They got nothing from the turn, man.
They didn't like that he tried to take control of the franchise. And stars own franchises. Stars, if there's someone who can go out and do the job better than anyone, they're the ones who are going to control the league because they're the guys who can make you money.
Do you like the fit in Oakland?
Yes. I think it's perfect.
You think so?
Him and Derek Carr.
Are you worried about him and Carr?
No. Did you see their little talk
during
the Pro Bowl?
I don't know. I'm a little worried. I'm not sure how.
I think they're very similar people.
That's what scares me a little bit.
I think the issue with Antonio Brown, yes, he's gonna be an idiot sometimes. Live streaming in the locker room, whatever it was. But
how is that gonna go over well with John Gruden, who's the biggest old-fashioned mind?
But John Gruden has always had stars who've gone and done their thing. Antonio Brown isn't this player, who's off a couple great years. We're talking about historic years.
No,
this is similar to when Jerry Rice went and left the 49ers, similar to a Joe Montana leaving the 49ers for the Chiefs. This is a star player who still has a lot of couple years left, in my opinion.
He's 30 now, so I think he's got 2 or 3.
Yeah, there's still some elite years you can pull out. They've proven themselves. When they come here, they demand that respect. Brown's going to tell what Jays he wants to take off. They didn't control him in Pittsburgh. They're not going to control him in Oakland.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. The move to Vegas, they're going to be the first NFL team to ever move to Vegas. This is from an athlete perspective.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a different adjustment.
See, but you wouldn't say that about any other player in the league.
No, I think it's for for the whole team.
No, but
anybody.
Okay, for the team, that's a different conversation. But you look at Antonio Brown, right? What has been the one common line? He's the hardest working player in the NFL.
That's what they say, yeah.
I'm not going to worry about him going to Las Vegas because this guy, he may say he doesn't need football, and truthfully, money-wise, he doesn't, but probably as a person, this is everything to him. You know what I mean? And as a business guy, you have to step out there and sometimes be like, I'm more than just this job, but he truly loves playing in the NFL.
No, he does.
So I'm not worried about his focus.
It's going to be different with the move to Vegas. Mm-hmm. I think the Raiders partly made this move to get...
If you had said that about if Le'Veon Bell, if there was, before this report, I would agree with that because, Le'Veon Bell has had the drug issues in the past. Antonio Brown has not had those issues. Antonio Brown has come in, he's played.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
True professional.
And I think part of the reason why the Raiders made this move, I don't want to say to sell tickets, but They needed a star to go into Vegas, and that's Brown.
And they got a great deal out of it.
Because Carr's not a star, and I think they know that.
No, and they need someone to transform him. Just like Antonio Brown transformed Big Ben in recent years.
But they have the hockey team in Vegas now, the Vegas Knights. Brophy, how do I'm going to have you jump in there. You're a hockey guy.
They're good, right?
They've been doing really well. Didn't they make it to the finals?
Yeah, they did. They made it to the finals.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
so
right.
they have been killing it. And as far as I've seen, I could be wrong because I haven't followed hockey news a ton recently. There haven't been any drug problems or anything like that. So I feel like anyone going into Vegas isn't going to have these issues.
I know it's been a problem for the road teams. They call it the Vegas flu.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is certain. That is a huge advantage.
But that Vegas flu, it's the same thing when players go to Cali. You know, guys go to Cali, they get lit, they're partying with Drake. You know what I mean? It's that same mindset. You go anywhere where stuff's having fun, you're going to get Miami. We remember all the Miami conversations. Like, players will fall into those traps.
I just think Vegas, it's going to be interesting. And I think Brown is going to be the face of the Raiders in Vegas. I think that was the whole goal, and I think part of the reason why, of course, he's a great receiver, this and that, but I think that's another element to it.
Hey, don't forget, Brandon Carr. Carr had a great season up until he broke his leg.
The year before,
that was decent.
Yeah.
And so if he can get up to that level and have Antonio Brown on a team, the Raiders can make another run.
I think people forget how bad his offense was last year. A lot of people don't realize like what he truly was not throwing to a guy who would.
You a Derek Carr guy?
I'm fine on him. I think he can be an average quarterback. I think we've seen that. He had it was a 12-4 season, 13-3 a couple years back now. You know, that doesn't come out of
leg injury, and he's never really able to. He's had some broken. Did he break his ribs or something?
Yeah,
too?
he got destroyed. He didn't have an offensive line. He was getting smacked up. You got Marshawn Lynch over here, who's somewhere in between retirement and playing.
Let's see if Trent Brown's worth the money.
Yeah.
See if it's a Nate Solder-esque contract where he sucks.
Yeah.
We'll see with the Raiders. I'm still not totally sold. I want to see what they do with the picks.
I'm not sold on that team, but I am sold on Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's he's going to get his stuff no matter what.
He's going to put up numbers.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they're going to translate to W's.
But Antonio Brown, that's never been his concern.
I guess not,
When he talked about wanting to be moved, it wasn't once about going to get a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's just,
and I respect that. Go get your money, man.
Some people want to do,
He wants to make money. He wants to be a star.
I think it's different from Odell. I think Odell wants to win.
I agree with you on that. I think because he's already reached such a high level. Antonio Brown's 30. You know, Odell's got a good amount of years to get to that point. He's already proven he's a brand. Now it's time to prove you deserve it NFL legacy-wise. You know? What time is it? 1:23?
Yep.
Should we hop? Oh, we got Kyler Murray.
We'll talk Kyler Murray for 5-6 minutes. And Ben's got a little piece of audio for us.
Oh.
So there's a lot to this story. Let me start by saying first and foremost, come Thursday night, first round of the NFL draft, my jaw will be on the floor if Kyler Murray is not selected number 1 by the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
That's from Undisputed on FS1. Skip and Shannon.
Dylan Saraiva.
R.I.P. Dylan Saraiva, yes.
Listen.
Dylan Saraiva of The Wiggle had a mock. So they have a weekly.
His first mock draft.
Yep, they have a weekly mock draft on The Wiggle. And
Pombo Milliken would never.
No, we never. 2 weeks ago, so this was 2 weeks ago, and Dylan said Kyler Murray would not be selected in the first round. So this is Joe Klatt, college football analyst from FS1. He's one of the best there is. Mm-hmm. He calls games. He's awesome. He's plugged in with everyone.
He bullies Colin Cowherd on a weekly basis.
You just heard him say he would be shocked. His jaw would be at the floor if Kyler Murray is not selected first overall.
And Klatt mentioned,
and I agree with him.
Yeah, I 100% agree either. Klatt also mentioned he right now believes Arizona is the team. I believe he said he'd be shocked and then even more shocked. But he believes Arizona is going to be
if it's to Arizona or it's to somebody else, I think it's probably going to be Arizona.
Yep.
Murray's going first overall.
I think you saw the report that came out with Kyler Murray before we go super deep about him not interviewing well.
Yes.
And you saw how quickly those reports got tarnished.
That's really interesting. Do you see the thing they call it Height-gate? Have you seen that a little bit? So there's a few people in NFL scouts there questioning his legitimacy of his height.
Dude, this is the same circle people were
He's going to
in
measure again at his pro day.
And he will measure the same thing. This is the same circle people fell into last time, where like it's great to go in like, what happens if he isn't that tall? Okay, well that fits the narrative of half the people hating on Kyler Murray. You know, he measured that. There hasn't been any height gate with players before, so I'm not going to fall into that.
All right, in terms of that, you really can't. The only way he could specifically cheat that, if he could, is
lifts. Right? No,
is his hair. You know, they might not have pushed all the way down on his hair.
Oh, Jason, shut up, dude.
No, I'm just saying.
Calm down.
No,
so you think they're gonna push down on his hair at his pro day?
I'm just telling you that might be.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what it is, because you know how he has like the the hair.
At the combine, those guys are the most professional of the professional. They've been doing this for years.
That's the only way you can. That's the only way you can cheat it. There's no other way.
I'm gonna.
Or that I can think of.
I'm gonna assume they did it the right way. I think with Kyler Murray, those reports came out. Who was the guy that reported? I don't even remember.
For
the Kyler Murray, he was the one who broke the story saying he talked to a team and they said,
Charlie Casserly, right?
Yeah,
From NFL Network?
Yeah, this same guy said Baker Mayfield was a poor leader, then completely revised history. Did you see those tweets?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
so shut up. I'm not buying into that.
He got slammed.
I think everyone would have known before Baker Mayfield was a leader coming out of college. Kyler Murray, listen, do I think he's the same guy as Baker? Personality? Not even close. He's quiet. He's going to go play. Do I think he's a bad leader? Do I think he can't draw stuff up? No. We're talking about the guy who's the best passer in the nation this year. You're telling me he's going to struggle to run or understand plays and stuff like that? Do I think he could understand or fail to understand maybe a traditional kind of playbook a little bit? It'd take some time. Yeah. But listen,
I'm not totally sold on him.
Lincoln Riley has come out and said this guy has never had an issue on the board. I'm going to believe Lincoln Riley.
The only thing there's a few things that concerns me. Height being a factor. I really do believe that's a factor. I think it's a reason why not many people his height have had success.
5'10" and 1/8?
Whatever it is, there's not many people that have had success. So that's just what history. That's just what history says.
Yeah, he'd be the shortest if he hits that level.
Is he a system quarterback? Is he a system quarterback? Baker Mayfield put up similar success. I'm curious to see with that. Where's his head at? Where's his head at?
Murray had a better year than Baker Mayfield.
That's what I'm saying. Is it in terms of Lincoln Riley's system?
Well, yeah, but even if you look at it in terms of what Baker Mayfield was, if Kyler Murray's in that same system and does better,
I want to see him. I want to see him with Cliff Kingsbury. That's who I want to see him with.
Who I think's the same. It's just a great of a fit.
I
think they're going to run the same offense.
His best chance of success is that. I think he has a poor chance of success if
Oakland.
I don't know, the Redskins all of a sudden or Miami or something like that.
I think there's two real possibilities: Arizona or Oakland. Oakland at this point, I think they've kind of shown they don't have much faith in going that route.
Yeah, I think Oakland
and Miami would have to tear a lot more down.
They'd have to move up.
Yeah, I think with Kyler Murray, listen. I'm not going to buy into it. There's been this awful stigma around black quarterbacks for a long time that they don't do well on the board. It's just racial stuff.
Well, Dwayne Haskins, he's projected top 10 too. I like Haskins. I'm starting to like him a lot.
But we know the constant stigma around black quarterbacks in the league. How people. For a lot of things that white quarterbacks don't get accounted for, black quarterbacks do. They'll let the white quarterback get away with something. Oh, he's edgy, he plays hard. But if it's a black quarterback, it's considered, unprofessional or not.
I don't mean to steal your stuff, but I got breaking news. But it's not. It's soccer. So Tyler doesn't care.
We'll hit it after this.
Tyler doesn't care. Sorry.
But with Kyler Murray, listen, don't buy anything. When people spoke to other teams, they all heard great things. Lincoln Riley said he heard great things when he spoke about those interviews. I'm still buying into Kyler Murray. It's going to be a fun year in Arizona for him and Cliff
I hope it happens. I really hope it happens. I like him a lot in terms of that fit in Arizona.
So what do you think is going to be the biggest issue? Just height?
Height's a big factor. I'm not sure. So he's not a mobile quarterback. He's a pocket passer.
Yep.
Right?
But, when he's outside the pocket, he does pass extremely well. He's that good of a pocket passer.
Well, he's not a runner. He's not a typical Michael Vick.
Kyler Murray?
Yes.
He has people say he's faster than Michael Vick, but he's not run
playing
first.
Style. He's not run first. That's what I'm trying to say.
And I think that speaks to how special he is.
Can he be accurate enough in the NFL? I think so.
Think about how good of a passer you have to be considered on the same plane as Michael Vick, and people are like, no, he's still that good of a passer.
Yeah,
that says something, does it not?
He's an exciting player. I don't know.
If he doesn't end up in anywhere besides, if he ends up outside Arizona, there could be issues.
You're off ship?
Yeah, I'm not off ship, but I get concerned. He needs to be with the right coach, and Cliff Kingsbury is that guy. Jason, you want to hit us with the soccer news?
I'll save it for the end. Right, I don't want to intrude our football talk.
Okay, that wraps up Kyler. So we're kind of good through football.
Oh, okay.
Hit it. You want to hit it before?
Hit it up. So, you know the soccer team Real Madrid, Tyler?
I do.
Are you familiar with them?
I almost did my Culture of Spain project on that. Yeah.
So they've struggled mightily this year. They've really taken a serious L's.
I think I know someone who's a fan. You know Chad? I think he's a real
Chad.
Oh, you don't know Chad. Okay. You know Chad, but you don't know Chad.
Okay, fair enough.
You remember? You do. Keep going.
I know Chad.
Chad, shout out.
Shout out Chad. So they've really been bad all year, and they just finally fired their manager, and they appointed their old manager who was with them previously for 4 or 5 years. His name's they call him Zidane. He's awesome. They call him
Zidane guy.
This big Zidane guy. They call he's a great manager. He's like the Bill Belichick of soccer. Mm-hmm. He's awesome. And Real Madrid just canned their old guy for this guy. And it's interesting because I wasn't expecting it. and Real Madrid has sucked so bad.
Now, would
I
you
wanna
credit
see.
last season's success or not success to the last coach, or would it be talent?
No, it's talent. They lost the best player in the world, Tyler. What do you expect?
Messi?
I hate you, Tyler.
Sorry, I had to do that to you.
hate you.
We know. Ronaldo, you mans.
Well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
They lost him, and they all of a sudden forgot how to play soccer. Sort of rough.
Listen,
It's a big story, though.
stay strong, Jason.
I'm strong.
You are? You feel confident?
With what?
What team do you root for?
With which league?
Soccer.
Which league?
I don't know.
The Spanish league, I like Real
This is
Madrid.
like when you talk MMA to me, I legitimately don't know what you're talking about.
So,
Like,
fair enough.
I'll speak weight classes in MMA. It's obviously different than
All right.
outside.
So, are you saying which league specifically?
I legitimately, I know there's the Premier League.
All right. It's the Premier League. I like Manchester United.
Okay.
Okay.
What other league is there?
Okay. I like La Liga. I like Real Madrid.
Okay.
The Series A in Italy. I like
How do you feel about the
Juventus.
lightweight? How do you feel about featherweight, flyweight, strawweight in the women's division? How do you feel?
How do you feel?
Yeah. I like legitimately, it's not.
You like the
foreign to
Revs?
me.
You like
Huh?
the Revs?
The Revolution?
Yeah.
No.
You know, Brad Friedel, their manager, is a nice guy.
All I
Nice
care.
guy.
The only thing I ever cared about
he's
the
bad.
Revs was Taylor Twellman.
I hate Taylor.
Why do you hate? Why?
I
Because he
can't
has CTE.
stand- Does he have CTE?
No, he's hit his head a lot though.
Oh,
He had
I
a lot of
can't stand-
concussions.
He's not a good soccer analyst. He sucks.
What is he?
He sucks.
Calm? No, he's on ESPN now, right?
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
He's their only soccer guy. He sucks.
All right, Taylor Twellman. Well, Jason Pombo's not a fan. Did you
He
grow up watching the
sucks.
Revolution?
A little bit. They were pretty good back when we were like.
Who was the German dude they signed a couple years back?
Don't get me started on him.
you
Jermaine
didn't like
Jones.
him? I thought he was good.
I
didn't watch
I
the
don't like
games. I
him
don't know
from a
anything about
different
him.
reason. I don't like him for a different reason.
Really?
So he played for Team USA. All right. So Tyler, he's a German dude, right? So why is he playing for Team USA?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
That-
Right?
that's-
Because he got dual citizenship just so he could play for USA. It was a dirty move by the Americans.
Wow.
American soccer team. Yeah.
Okay, no, I get that point. Why did he not want to play in Germany? Did he have a reason?
Well,
or-
because the German national team is very good competition,
oh,
and he probably wouldn't have played as much. So the U.S. they do stuff like that, where they do kind of like that's why Americans like they're bad with soccer.
so is this like World Cup or
yeah,
Olympics?
but this is World Cup, yeah.
Okay.
And then the Revolution ended up acquiring him. He's not there anymore though.
Okay.
I don't know where he is.
What place are the Revolution in?
Oh, they're bad. Bad.
Well, they have 6 people who go to the games, and one of them is Robert
Real
Kraft.
Bad. He doesn't even go.
Yeah.
He doesn't even go. No, they're really, really bad. Really, their coach is a good guy though. Brad Friedel, very good guy.
Dang, that's rough, man.
But yeah,
When the Bruins are getting that coverage over the Revolution that often, that says something. Dude, they tried to push the Revolution for a long time. I remember.
They were in the finals 2 years in a row. I think it was like 2008, 2009.
Yeah, I watched one of those
They
games.
got their
I
butts
remember.
kicked by like the Houston Dynamite both years. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, Ben's out on soccer, or he's out on the Revs.
The Revs getting more coverage than the Bruins. Give me a break.
You made
Give me a
him You made him
break.
sick by that. We're talking
Give
about
me
Revs
a
and the Bruins on
break.
this program.
Hey, okay.
The Bruins were just on a 19-game point streak.
No,
Don't
okay.
even talk to
I'll
me.
I'll give that to you in recent. They just lost it, right? Didn't
Yeah,
it just
the
happen?
Penguins last night.
All right, no, I'll give you credit, but listen, Bruins it's a Boston city. Hockey's always going to be big here. You go to other places. A lot of places, the NHL is right where the MLS is. It's not too far off.
Seattle,
I'm not going to go watch a game in Phoenix.
Seattle
Sorry.
is huge in the MLS.
Yes.
Seattle, it is huge.
Oh,
I don't
Colin
know if you've
Cowherd,
seen that
big,
stuff.
yes.
The Seattle Sounders, they put up numbers. They fill up the Seahawks Stadium. They put up numbers.
Ace, they don't have an NHL franchise yet.
No.
So there you go.
I
But
guess you're right.
that's
yeah.
the thing. It feels like in a lot of areas, like it's kind of split on soccer, hockey.
And they're trying-
both like you either fall in love usually with one
And
side.
they're trying to get these older stars. Like they just got Orlando City just got Nani. He's a Portuguese star.
Landon Donovan still playing.
No, I don't think so. He might have came. He was thinking about coming back.
He played
or
for
something. The Galaxy.
Galaxy. Beckham was on that team too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney. He plays in Washington D.C.
He's like washed though, right?
Ibrahimovic plays in LA Galaxy. They've been trying to get Ronaldo for years to come to so Miami's gonna have a team. It's gonna be called Miami FC.
That's interesting.
So Chado Chocinco and a few other people are owning it. I think Ronaldo might be a part owner too.
Chad Ochocinco got that kind of money. Good for
Well,
him.
there's like 10 of them.
Oh, okay.
There's
So they're all
like,
coming together.
I think Ronaldo's one of them. There's a bunch of them.
Now, what would a star?
Why
Like
would
a
you come to
typical
America?
star? No, like so if you're a regular star in the MLS, like
There's no stars in the MLS.
All right, Wayne. What does Wayne Rooney make here? Like he was great.
You want to know what he makes?
Yeah.
I'll let you know what he makes.
He probably owns like 50% of the team.
Well, no, that guy Ibrahimovic I was talking about, he plays when he wants to, he doesn't play. He did. All right, so He's a huge star. He's a big Swedish star. Huge. He played for Manchester United. He played for this other French team, PSG. Huge. Everybody loves him. He's a real jerk, but everyone loves him. So so the Galaxy were playing the Revs, right? This was last summer. I looked into tickets, and they were kind of expensive. They were like $70 just to see that guy, because he's that good.
Wow.
Like, he's premier. So he didn't play because of, quote, turf and travel. He just didn't show up.
Dang,
he
that's
didn't
crazy.
show up.
That's
Perpetuating the soccer stereotype.
Yeah, exactly.
One game at a time, guys.
Exactly.
Wow.
He didn't show up because of that. So you had
Well
a
put,
crap
Ben.
ton. You had so many people. They sold so many tickets. He didn't show up because of the damn plane ride and the turf. He looked at the turf and said, "Screw you, turf. I'm going back to bed, bro."
When you make that much money, like, obviously you're not going to come out here and risk it on. Listen. You think that turf feels good here? You think the MLS turf is what people really hope
Think
for?
of Gillette Stadium?
That probably feels
Rooney makes like $10 million a year.
Yeah, okay. That's for the MLS though. Like, that's a salary. How many players in the NHL make $10 million a year? It can't. Not
Well,
that
I
many.
think
We're
right?
getting
it's
there.
not-
We're
it's-
moving
yeah.
up, but
It's
you're right.
not all of the American. Like, his old club, Everton's still paying him too.
Oh, so it's like they let him come over and play,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, that's just my little. The MLS sucks, but
Hey.
I'm trying.
What? Last show I did some MMA talk. This week we did some soccer. We're staying true to our intro. We said a little soccer and
Yeah,
MMA.
we talked a little soccer
It
today.
was funny when I made that. Not once had you guys talked about either soccer or MLS today.
Soccer, we talked. All right, so when we first made that,
During
we had
the
like
summer, Jason
we had the
talks
World
it.
Cup, and the World Cup was going
That's
on.
fair.
And I was all about that. Like,
Yeah.
Jake, you know how hard I go for the World Cup. Jake, how
I'm
hard
not a
do I
soc-
go?
I'm not a soccer
I have like
fan.
30 people in my house. Right?
World Cup's fun to watch.
Yeah, without a
fun
doubt.
no matter what.
It's just such competitive play. You can't turn that down. What is it? 1:37 right now.
We'll take a break. I'll
All
stop
right.
my soccer chatter.
We'll be back in a few. We got some NBA and MLB talk coming.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.
Set the inbound the ball. Hayward, 5. Hayward driving, in traffic, hanging, making. Gordon Hayward with 2 seconds left to go. The Celtics up 2. The Kings call a timeout.
And Jason Pombo has lost all control of his body.
Yes.
Gordon Hayward. Listen, this West Coast trip has been. It started with Golden State.
It's been magical.
Yes,
It's
everything's
going to be
starting
in the
to click
championship
back.
DVD.
All right, you want to tell the
I'm just
story,
joking.
Jason Pombo?
I'm joking.
No, don't know. You're
What?
not joking.
What?
I know that's in you.
What?
Oh, there's some part of you that still clings to that.
There's a shot.
Yeah,
There's
there
absolutely
is.
a shot.
No, I agree. Things are turning
There's a
around.
shot.
But your boy
So
Kyrie.
the Warriors aren't looking to. They were 16-point favorites to the Suns last night, and they lost outright.
You know what the biggest thing is? That Steve Kerr moment
Yes.
with Draymond.
Klay Thompson saying
What
the
he
fans
said-
suck and all that other stuff too.
God. No, listen, this is the stuff that happens at the end of a dynasty.
So,
Eventually the pieces fall
If
apart.
you've been asleep the last week, the Celtics have won 3 in a row, and
Yes,
they might have
they
figured
have.
it out.
And honestly, a lot of it can be thrown up. You know, Hayward went
Ben's
out,
such a hater. He's such a Bruins fan. Oh, I hate the Bruins fans.
Hayward went out, got 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists against Golden State. Then 12 points, but 6 for 10 shooting against the Kings with the one-legged fadeaway for the win. Like,
You have to say the one like.
yeah, listen, he did it. That spin move, dude. I don't know. That shot is
that
beautiful.
just saying that call that we put on previously was Kyle Draper on NBC Sports Boston. Yeah,
Thank you. Look at us, so we don't get sued.
I know. I remember that, Ben.
And then, Hayward moved the C's to 3-0 on this trip with 15 points on 6 for 8 shooting against the Lakers, and all off the bench. So, what can people really say? Gordon Hayward, his shooting percentages rise from month to month. Last month it got up to 51.3. It's now at 62.8. How you feeling, Jason Pombo?
I'm feeling good.
Is this the Gordon Hayward people thought was going to be here?
It might be. It's not there yet, but when Hayward has scored more than 12 points, they're 21-4. When he scored less than 11, they're 16-20. So Hayward is the biggest X factor of this team. If this team wants to do anything in the postseason, if they want to advance at all, it is going to be up to Gordon Hayward. He decides this team's future.
During this 3-game hot
And
streak?
I think he also has to do with if Kyrie stays or leaves. If he can keep developing and all this stuff, I think it influences Kyrie because they're boys, and it just helps the team in general.
Yeah, I think confidence is the biggest thing continuing to stick through because, Gordon Hayward still working to find that role, what minutes work right.
He's not 100% back. But
what his body can handle.
He's looked really good. He scored 30 points against the Warriors, man. 30 points.
Yeah, they have found the right way to pace him out there so he's not exhausted, so he's not fearsome, so he's not sore. Because people forget, he had the ankle injury during All-Star Weekend.
Yes, he had a sprained ankle.
He said he was working out, whatever happened. And he powered through that. Now, before the injury, heading into the break, he was actually playing pretty well, had a rough stretch, and now we're back to the success again. So something's clicking. Like, during this 3-game hot streak, Celtics have outscored opponents by a team-high 24 points per 100 possessions with him on the court. That alone speaks to it. You know why? Because the pressure's off Kyrie. It's not all on Kyrie. No ISO. Let's not pass it to Marcus Smart to throw up a random three.
Did you know? I'm just giving you a fact here. Marcus Smart is second on the team in three-point shooting percentage.
That doesn't excite me.
I was just telling you.
Listen, it's happy.
38%.
Yes.
Something like that.
Which for Marcus Smart, who would have ever thought?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, believe it or not.
Are you buying into this? You think he's going to keep hitting these threes?
Shooting 38%?
Listen, it's a fun year. It's a fun year. Let's keep it like that.
I haven't had that much fun this year.
No. For Marcus Smart, though, Marcus Smart is getting to do whatever he wants.
Hey, man, Smart's having a great year.
Yeah.
I think he's probably been the most consistent player they've had.
No, without a doubt. Yeah. And, a lot of people, I couldn't believe how many people forgot how old he was when they were looking at, they wished him a happy birthday on the Celtics Twitter recently.
Right?
It's crazy to think about that. Yeah. But people, as much as they want to crap on him, he's continuing to grow. Is he what people had always hoped for? No. But he's still a very, very good NBA player that fits perfectly in Brad Stevens' whole system.
Yep.
I just think with Gordon Hayward, you hope you keep finding this nice middle point where he's not exhausted and he feels good. I hope it can sustain into the playoffs.
Tonight's big against the Clippers. They're a scrappy team. They play hard for Doc Rivers.
Dude, you go and sweep this West Coast trip, make it easy.
If you go 4-0, it's huge. That's going to be a nice plane ride home.
Yes. And, hey, on that plane ride, they can talk some more, have some more fun.
Play some cards. They can whatever they do.
So you want to give your thoughts on that whole plane ride, the initial one?
I don't know what happened on that plane ride.
From what Kyrie said, he did some coaching.
Kyrie did some coaching, and they just had some activities that brought them all together.
I hated that quote. That was the one part of this whole thing that kind of made me take a step back, because it felt like Kyrie was talking. It sounded like he talked to Brad Stevens, Danny Ainge. Everyone had some convos and kind of worked it out.
Yeah.
But then when he turned it to I did some coaching with them, I was like,
that's just how
it's Kyrie.
It's Kyrie. It's the NBA. It's just how it is. So
I don't know. I wouldn't call it the NBA. I call it Kyrie.
Oh, they all do that.
Not all of them. No. A lot of them would be like, no, we just talked it out as a team. Kyrie has to go.
A lot of the NBA is out.
Kyrie needs to assert his dominance because, listen, as talented as you guys are, you're not me. Do you know Uncle Drew? Do you have a movie?
It's a good movie.
Jason, listen. Jason's blushing over here while I'm talking about Kyrie Irving.
Jake, I saw Uncle Drew with you. Did you like it?
I loved it. No, look at wow, 2 fans out of everyone who went and saw it. That's pretty impressive. We're the only two that liked it. Well, you were the only two in the theater too, so it was a fun time. Sorry, Jason. Kyrie, hey, that layup he had the other night.
How about the behind the back?
Yes. Oh, Kyrie is doing some amazing things.
Come on, Tyler.
That's never been the question. That's never been the question to me. Stop saying weird comments after the game. Just be normal.
But he's so weird. He's weird. He's always been doing this.
Dude, homie believed the earth was flat at one point.
He's weird.
Yes.
He's weird as hell. I get that. He's a damn good basketball player.
He is a damn good basketball player. Will he be able to sustain this kind of leadership and energy?
Up, Ben.
That's what it comes down to. Like, hey, bro.
Damn Bruins fan over here.
Listen, hey, he's having a good time right now. A lot more fun this season for the Bruins than you've had with the Celtics. That's the truth.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's true. I'll take my L.
But no, I think everything's going great. It's just about sustaining this. This is a lot what you talked about. It just took one thing to kind of switch that or
just took one
whatever
little thing.
What do you call those things you turn on for a light? The light switch. There you go. Wow, I'm sad. I'm very illiterate.
Do you want it labeled?
Yes, that would be great. Hey, we actually have some kind of label. Active.
Active. I don't know what that means.
Safety for Nate. No, but you flip the switch like this with the veteran team or some veteran pieces like Kyrie Irving. Brad Stevens has done his thing over the years. Marcus Smart. It's just about sustaining it. Do you think they sustain this?
I think they can. Yes, certainly. I mean,
it seems to be trending that way.
They beat the best of the best. Winning 3 in a row here against some quality opponents. I mean, the Kings are a fringe playoff team. The Lakers, say what you want, but it's still LeBron James.
Yes, without a doubt.
And the Warriors are the best team in the NBA.
I'm not completely buying in until they have they need another low moment. A moment where not low.
We don't need more low moments here.
But they lose a game by 15. I want to see them come out the next game or 10, whatever it may be. They come out the next game and they can win.
Yeah.
It's great when everything's riding high. That's never been the issue. It's when this team faces adversity that things have gone bad.
The good thing is there's I think 15, 16 games left in the year. They could ride this high.
And if they ride this into the postseason,
very similar to how, if you want to compare it to the NFL, like the Giants have in the past years, or the Ravens with Joe Flacco.
That late surge.
The late surge, exactly. They're a 5 seed right now, but they're a game and a half out of the 3 seed.
Seeding doesn't worry me with the Celtics.
I'd like them to get home court. But I think they're probably going to end up with the 3 or the 4 seed. I don't think they end up with the 5.
If they are themselves, if they are who they're supposed to be, home court.
I think they're in the East Finals regardless.
As long as they're in that, that range, they don't fall somehow even farther back. I think they'll be fine. The Celtics team still is right there. I think they're still the most talented team in this conference.
I agree.
And I even think it's a conversation.
There's a lot of things odd going out west too.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who are sitting there trying to hype up the Bucks right now.
I'm not with the Bucks right now. If anything, I'm with Toronto.
Pacers without Oladipo.
I think Toronto is the team team that could get by the Celtics.
Solely just because of how fundamentally sound they are. That's what scares me. Listen, Milwaukee, yeah, they got some great pieces there. Giannis, freak athlete. They can slow Giannis down if they need to. They can go after other pieces. They're not going to let one guy beat them. That's not what the Celtics team is. The Bucks don't have another guy, in my opinion.
Yeah, Eric Bledsoe, whatever.
Fine.
Miricic,
Yeah.
Like, they have some pieces. They just got Pau Gasol.
Yeah.
I mean, he's old.
Yeah. But when we're talking that piece, like you turn over, even a team like Philly seems more dangerous to me solely because it could turn into Embiid and
Giannis
Butler.
hasn't had postseason success.
No,
I don't think
he hasn't won. Not around.
They haven't won a playoff series.
Yeah.
No. They have a good coach now in Budenholzer. He's from Atlanta. Good coach.
They got bullied last, or what was it against the Celtics? What year did they get completely bullied? Was it 2? No. There was the
Celtics Hawks?
Yeah, no, Celtics Bucks.
Bucks, that was last year.
Last year, yeah.
It was Scary Terry when he went off on Eric Bledsoe.
There we go.
Bledsoe.
Thank you. Yeah, complete. Whole storyline there. People were trying to buy into that back then. I just don't think this Bucks team has enough dangerous players on that roster to really compete with the talent they have.
I agree with that. Also, just an update, not breaking news, so Ben can rest. Update on. Okay, that's fine. That was cool music, but. I wouldn't hear it. You missed out.
That's for less breaking news. No big deal.
Okay. So, Gronk's agent, Drew Rosenthal, went on ESPN Live, and he talked to Gronk last night. He said he hasn't made a decision yet. He is healthy and he's feeling a lot better. He played through an injury in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, we already know no decision is final. So,
okay.
Just
that keeps me in the same mind space we were in earlier.
Well, I honestly don't know. I'm waiting to see where everybody else stands.
Which is how everything falls out.
Yes.
Whether he likes where he's at, whether he's comfortable. Hey, he's earned that right. He's that player at this point in his career. So what we got? Lakers? Jeez.
Let's talk some Lakers, Tyler. I know you probably have a big opinion on this.
Yeah. Listen, some of this, I think blame goes to really two main sources here. I think the most blame goes to Magic. Listen, we've looked at who LeBron spent his entire career. You need to surround him with shooters. You never did that. You go ahead, you look at Luke Walton. Yeah, Luke Walton's not great, but he's not awful. He's middle tier. He's not going to wow. I know everyone complains about his substitutions a ton, but they've improved at points throughout the season. And you look at how many injuries he's had. You can't blame him for the rotations getting a little crazy. There's already people saying there's a lot of jobs going to be out there for him. I've heard at the Arizona Wildcats.
Arizona Wildcats.
For the
college,
yeah,
they're going down there.
Yeah,
interesting.
No, I heard Chris Broussard mention that last week. I don't know. When it comes to LeBron, I think a lot goes to him too. He's not connecting with these guys, but at the end of the day, I put it all on. Not all, but most of it on Magic. I'd say 50 for Magic.
I'm gonna say 50 Magic, 30 LeBron, 20 everybody else.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right to me. LeBron definitely needs to learn how to connect with players, and this might be a real issue moving forward.
Yeah.
I think this could go on.
Like I was mentioning to you, I think it was a few shows ago, which free agents has LeBron drawn in to come play with him?
None.
Zero.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, he joined Bosh and Wade.
Yep.
Kyrie was already there, and Love was acquired by trade.
No, exactly. And we heard the reports over the years. There were so many different names mixed into that. Kyrie left him. Kyrie didn't want to play with him anymore because he felt like he wasn't connected. Things have changed. Kyrie's admitted his mistakes, but there's a lot of stars, Paul George, whoever it may be. I just think LeBron, at this point, yes, you're special. We know you're a mogul. You're one of the GOATs. In my opinion, the GOAT. You still need to realize you're another one of the guys.
I think his legacy's taking a fall here. He's not going to make the playoffs, man. That's nuts.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with making a stand for who you are, continuing to dominate. But when you're in that locker room, you need to act like one of the guys to some degree, unless you're being mistreated. LeBron's not being mistreated. It's his show, and he's complaining about how it's being run. How can you run the show and be upset with how the show's running?
You know who the Lakers just signed? They signed. Do you remember Andre Ingram?
Yeah, God help us, man.
You remember the guy, the G League star for like 10 years?
Yes.
Yeah, they just signed him to a 10-day deal.
Caruso's out here playing big minutes.
Looks like we're going to sell tickets.
Did you see that Caruso little clip when LeBron passed MJ for the points?
Yeah.
My name's Alex. That little joke clip. I thought that stuff was
The Lakers
hilarious.
right now are in disarray.
It's sad. You see them, they're lowering LeBron's minutes a little bit here and
People
there.
had them going to the West Finals.
Yeah. Listen.
They make the playoffs. Then you make the 9 seed.
That's the crazy part, because you got to think, when LeBron went down, they were the 4 seed, if I remember, or the 5th seed off the top of my head.
5.
Yeah. So, they were in the thick of things, and it was very close, but
he's been back for a grip. Nothing.
And I don't think LeBron would be playing right now if his groin was truly really bothering him.
Hurt? I mean,
I think he's not conditioned. I think that's it. Not in a disrespectful way, but he wasn't able to condition too heavy.
Himself on.
Yeah, but being injured like he has, I think that's just what it was. I think he's struggling to get back into the groove of things.
Is he getting old? I think this.
Yes.
I think he is too.
No, I think this is the first time you can say LeBron's getting old, because every other time he's ever mentioned turning it on in his career, he's done it.
Jake posed a good question to me.
Let's hear it.
I was going to save it for the end for the question portion, but we'll say it now. Is he the best player in the world right now?
Nope.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
I don't see LeBron. Listen, obviously you have everything he's done in his career. You can't ever dispute anything like that. But what continues to stick out for me, look at how efficient KD's been. And yes, he's playing with a bunch of stars. Even that efficiency LeBron hasn't had to the same degree this year. It seemed harder for him to go out there and get those points, especially down the stretch right now. Listen, those triple doubles he's posting, they're great, but they're taking a lot out of him. He's drained at the end of these games. You see it. Look at how bad his defense is.
I agree.
As much as people want to say KD takes a break sometimes on defense, he's still there. LeBron's not even moving.
Defense has been
He's not
atrocious.
moving. He's just watching people score. Hey, you want to shoot your three? I'll take my chances of you missing it.
Real bad.
And that's the stuff that really is putting me off.
Now, with his play being so bad, ABC play-by-play analyst Jeff Van Gundy had a comment. Ben, you want to pull that up?
It could be a trade with, for an Anthony Davis, or I think they need to explore trading LeBron for getting as much as they can.
What are you doing? Seriously. No, seriously, what are you doing?
No, you got to get on the right timeline. If I could trade him for the Clippers into cap space, which would give me a better chance to get Durant or Kawhi Leonard, would I not do that?
Okay, LeBron James is not getting traded.
Jason, you want to credit them real quick?
Yes. So that is Jeff Van Gundy. He's been a former NBA coach. He coached Team USA of ESPN now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think these comments towards LeBron, or the Lakers and LeBron, the Lakers can't go this route. They've committed too heavy. If they go and they end up moving him, number one, who knows what that market would even make sense of, moving a guy like LeBron. But I don't think the Lakers are going to give in on this. They can't. They need to commit. And if this burns in flames, it burns in flames.
Well, they can't trade him. I mean, can you imagine if they traded him? Wow.
Oh, what?
Well, all right, here's an interesting question for you, Tyler. I'm going to pose it to you this way.
God.
Would you rather keep LeBron for the next 3 years and grow with LeBron and the kids, or would you rather trade LeBron to the Clippers and acquire, through free agency, Durant and Kawhi? You like that one, huh?
That
makes you think,
that's
huh?
a big if, though. No,
I'm just saying hypothetical.
If you
Durant and Kawhi go up to you and
yes.
say, you trade LeBron, we're in.
Then I would do it, yes.
Wow. I think I would too.
But what are the chances?
I mean, Durant likes LA.
But
Kawhi likes LA.
LeBron. You got to move LeBron. Leonard's been a little iffy
LeBron
with the
doesn't
Lakers.
have a trade. He has a no trade clause,
Yes.
so you'd have to get that.
And that would be a whole conversation as well.
I'm saying, hypothetically speaking.
I don't think LeBron is willing. I think he's going to sit in LA.
I agree.
Yeah.
But if you don't think he'd be ticked off if they're sorry, bro, we don't want you anymore.
I think he just try to flex his muscles harder.
Yeah.
I truthfully believe that's
he'd be
what he would do.
I'm going to screw your franchise. Yeah.
No, I truthfully believe LeBron would get to that point. Listen, LeBron's come out here. The biggest reason he wants to do business stuff. There's
obviously
nothing wrong with that. He's trying to make his buck. He's trying to extend. This dude's a billionaire. You know what I mean? He's going to be here forever. He's always going to be part of media and entertainment. He's not leaving LA. This is all part of the plan in terms of career, Hollywood, all that. Playing wise, no, but I think he even realizes he's going to attract someone, and they'll at least be a competitive team next year. They won't fall into these same holes, but they got a lot of moves to make.
Who are they going to get?
That's a great question.
You know what I mean? It doesn't. Kawhi doesn't want to go near LeBron.
It all rests on Kyrie.
Durant, his legacy will just go down the toilet. I still don't see Kyrie going there.
But it's all on what Kyrie does. You know what I mean? If who knows? Maybe the Celtics go to the postseason, they have a really awful series, they get booted.
Then that's different. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But at that point, if Kyrie's not that chip that moves, then you turn your face back to the Anthony Davis.
Just hypothetically, Kyrie stays, Anthony Davis gets dealt to Boston. Hypothetically. What are you left with?
You're about to see them offer money to Leonard and go after Leonard.
Leonard's already said, he's already publicly I don't want to play with this guy.
They're going to go and send money wherever they can. Because no one has there's no been.
Then I think you go for Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris. I think they could land Butler.
Because Leonard, there's been the reports that he's been a little adjacent to it, not in love with the idea of playing under LeBron.
14-point word.
But there's a reason there has been no straight up denial. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason that door is still kept open to some degree.
I think Kawhi's going to be a Clipper. I think Durant.
I think he's a clip.
I'm not sure with Durant yet.
But I think even with a guy like Kawhi, if you give him the opportunity where he can go in and he feels like it's the right place, he will. Is that possible with LeBron? Doesn't seem like it.
Is there a chance
but there's a reason that door's open.
LeBron goes into the offseason, or goes into next season, and he has a similar cast? I'm not saying the same, but similar.
Heading into next season?
Let's say it's just him and Butler.
No, that's a rough. No.
Do you think that it doesn't happen?
I don't think Jimmy Butler, if he comes in there, he's going to be close to LeBron. You think that's going to mesh well with any of those?
Oh, I could see him doing it.
Yes, I just don't. I think if they go that route, you're asking for failure. I think if you are truly trying to rebuild things here, you need to move that young talent because they hate LeBron. They don't want any part of him. They don't like him, and I can't blame them for not liking him. But I think you're going to see LeBron. He's going to talk to everyone. Anyone who has not straight up said, like KD's motioned away. You don't think he's going to go and try?
KD can't for his legacy.
No, he can't do it. But you don't think LeBron's going to make that phone call?
Oh yeah, he's going to.
You know what I'm saying?
He's going to do it to everybody.
Yes.
But it's just like Kyrie's like, hey man, like I'm either staying or I'm going to the Knicks.
But
Durant, hey, I'm either staying or going to the Knicks.
As much as stars have turned away from LeBron over time, those players are always going to take that phone call. And if they're willing to take that phone call, there's always a chance.
There's a chance. I just think that there could be some serious issues in Lakerland.
If Jimmy Butler is what they pull away with, and that's it this offseason, this is a huge failure.
Well, it feels like he's the backup plan.
Yeah, and that's terrifying. You know, Jimmy Butler is not. We've seen he hasn't even elevated the 76ers that much.
No, not really at all.
Yeah,
no, look at him.
Like it's anything. Ben Simmons' development is still stunted. So I don't know. I'm not getting too excited about any of that.
Me neither.
If I'm LeBron, I'm really holding out. You try to talk Kawhi. You try. Because still, the idea of that is something special. And if he hasn't completely closed that door, you got to do it. You got to try your hardest. Because Anthony Davis going to the Celtics, I don't like the traction I'm starting to feel there.
Well, there's been other reported. I've read this a few places. Jackie McMullen had it 2 months ago.
Yes.
With the possibility of Durant coming to the Celtics.
You.
Don't say you. I'm not the only one that said it. There's been other people.
I know.
I wasn't even going to say it, but you mentioned it today.
You said it last week. Or
I said it a while ago. Yeah.
I don't think it's impossible. I don't. But I feel like it would be a little awkward for him. A little bit.
Yeah.
Celtics fans were really upset. But if he comes here, obviously that changes the conversation. But KD doesn't seem like one of those dudes. I think he wants to be liked. I think he truly wants to be liked and cared about.
He'd be loved in Boston. He'd be loved. He would be loved.
But there would be a portion of that fan base that says, before we weren't good enough, now we're good enough for you. What about when we didn't have these pieces?
You know, man, like, we'd get past that pretty quick.
No, but there would still be that section of the fan base that would still be upset. Like people would get excited, but there's people who are always going to say, when we wanted you initially,
it doesn't take much to excite us.
You send Tom Brady and David Ortiz to you, and neither one of them are the ones that can really go ahead and convince you. And now it's going to take a second try. People remember that to some degree.
Hypothetically, that the people have talked about, it would be a sign and train. It'd be like Gordon Hayward and a pick.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to give up assets. You give up Gordon Hayward.
Now, do you feel if KD came here?
I'm all in.
Obviously, you're all in. You got the best player in the world on your team right now.
Leader of the conductor.
Now, do you think KD can come here and take his legacy to a different level?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you?
Absolutely. I'm not just saying that, but Boston is different when you play basketball. Boston and LA are two different spots.
He's never seemed to love the Boston market to me. That's what sits weird.
The wild card is Danny Ainge.
Okay. So
I think he's a real wild card in all of this.
All right. All honesty, let's think about the offseason in which KD's been available.
Okay.
Has there ever been KD to Boston as something he seemed to love like he's loved New York?
Well, they said Boston was a second option 2 years ago.
Yes, second option.
Right there.
Still not first option.
No.
You know, and we have never heard the KD wanting to go. We've heard KD wanting to go to New York. Have we not?
Well, not this year. Not this year.
But
2 years ago, there was some real interest.
Yes, there was interest, but it was never that. It wasn't the same as New York. Would you agree with that?
It's a possibility. Yeah.
Would you agree?
Well, all right.
Go ahead.
You look at what the Knicks owner is doing right now, James Dolan. Why don't we play that clip now? Play James Dolan for me, Ben.
On the team. Anything I should say on the team? You want to not come to any more games? Why? That's rude. It's an opinion. No, it's not an opinion. And you know what? Enjoy watching them on TV.
Him, Black. Bring him, him. Hold him for Kevin. Hold him for Kevin. Hold him for Kevin.
Okay.
Hold him from Kevin.
You know what that quote means? Nothing, because this is.
Well, I think ownership. All right, this is from TMZ Sports.
Jason, did this clip surprise you when you saw it?
A little bit. You don't see that. Have you ever seen that before?
Do you know who James Dolan is?
He's a tool. That's my point.
This is his exact behavior we've always seen.
Exactly.
Anyone who's followed James Dolan is not surprised by this at all. at all.
This is petty and.
Do we remember the acts from a couple years?
That was
Kicking
bad, too.
players out, former players who have a legacy with your organization. You're kicking them out.
All I'm saying, ownership stability is an option. Is a factor, I should say.
I agree it is a factor, but I also agree that KD and Kyrie believe they're
They're going to sit in a meeting room with that tool?
No, because no one takes a meeting with him. No one takes him
Well, they
serious.
have to. They got to sign the contract.
Yes, but he runs.
We'll see in 4 years.
He
buddy.
owns the organization, but he's not running anything. Like, that's the truth.
He tries to.
No, he tries and he fails. There's a reason they keep him pushed away from so much here.
I think the Knicks' shine has lost a little bit of luster.
I think everyone's always known of these issues. James Dolan's not the one deciding here. It's being in a New York market. The opportunity to bring the Knicks back to fame, to be something important that people care about, that's what stands through here. Everyone knows the reason they're where they're at is because of James Dolan.
If they weren't in New York, they'd be they'd be as relevant as the.
Yeah. You're
Name
telling
the-
me
is the
them
Atlanta
kicking out a
Hawks.
fan is going to mean more to KD than them kicking out a former player who had huge moments there? You're telling me that?
No, but I think
that's what I'm saying.
Just the whole Knicks image. I don't know. I think
it's messy.
It's messy.
But
it's an option for KD, but I think the Celtics are too.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I just think what I've been saying is Kevin's always shown more love to the idea of New York than Boston.
He might have. We'll find out.
Okay.
We will find out.
No, I think there is a chance for both, but I think if KD truly is chasing legacy, he goes to the Knicks instead of the Celtics.
You think so? I think if he wants his image clean, he goes to the Celtics.
I think people will just say the same thing they said about the Warriors.
No, I think it's different.
I think it is to a little degree, but not a ton.
Just the whole Celtics image. It on the NBA world, the past,
but
the media, it's a lot. Like the Celtics and Lakers are so different from everybody else's.
If KD comes here, right?
Yep.
Is in terms of how people will look at it, they'll always consider Kyrie the leader there.
Yeah.
But if he goes to New York and KD goes and makes that initial move, he's like, "Come on, Kyrie."
Is Kyrie going with him?
Huh?
Is Kyrie going with him?
That will be a conversation. I think that also depends where KD ends up. But if KD goes somewhere,
he's not going to. Kyrie and KD together, alone on that Knicks team. How far do you think they're going to go early on?
No, not super far. But we're not talking about 1 year here. We're talking about building something in which KD's the face and not Steph Curry like the Warriors.
Durant's. He's almost 30 now. He's got to start putting pressure on here. How was he up to? 3 rings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think KD, if he's truly chasing legacy, and I think that still rings deep. You know, it's hard seeing those memes on Twitter, man. Every time someone makes a move,
I just think
it's hard seeing. Dude, people were Bryce Harper to the Phillies, KD going to the Phillies. Like, come on.
The Knicks are hated. They're New York. Again, if he wants to win back the country, the fan base, I think Boston would help. A lot of. It's not like the Patriots. The NBA people they like the Celtics. They think
they're good guys, scrappy.
Brad Stevens is loved.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum has a lot of upside.
I just think it'll be the same.
Kyrie's just a weirdo. But everyone loves Al Horford.
All right. If KD went to the Celtics, you don't think people would be like, "Oh, he's going to another talented team"?
They're talented.
That's it. That's all I'm asking.
They're talented.
Yes or no on that question?
I'm going to say no. It's different from if he went to the Warriors.
Jason, you can't say that.
It's different from the Warriors. He went to a 70-win team.
That wasn't my
70
question.
wins.
That wasn't my question.
What was the question?
What was my question? Oh.
What was my question?
If he went and joined the Celtics, would people on Twitter say he's joining a team with talent?
Oh, talented, yeah.
That's it. That's all I asked.
Yeah, they're talented.
Okay, that's the same equation, bro.
Oh, no,
it's
not.
very similar.
70 wins.
Yes.
The best team in NBA history.
Yes. We're talking a team last year that went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They didn't make the final. The Eastern Conference
without
Finals.
Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward, with 2 stars who are there now.
Hayward's out. Hayward's gone. Hayward's
yes,
out.
if
So
that
you
move
pull
were to
Hayward out.
happen.
You pull Hayward
Yes,
out.
but that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I think it's
we're
just
talking.
different.
We remember how high the expectations were this year. I think people forget. People were saying the Celtics were a lock.
The Warriors were a dynasty. Well, they still are. He joined a dynasty.
But the Celtics were considered a lock.
I still
we're
don't.
talking. But what were the Celtics considered before this year? Heading
get to the
into a
finals.
dynasty.
To get to the finals,
But heading into a dynasty.
Heading into a dynasty.
Okay.
Yes.
Not entire. They're similar.
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green.
Yep.
Coming off as 71 and 72 and 9, right?
Yes.
72-9. Coming off 2 or 3 championships. That's different,
Jason.
man.
It's slightly different, but it's the same as joining talent.
I totally think it's different.
Dude, you're
Ball game.
The only difference here is you're going and joining a team who people were saying were about to reach that dynasty level. It's a little before. Still, you're playing with Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie's a star.
Yes,
a star.
Kyrie Irving is a star.
But he's not Kyrie. He's not Curry. Well,
Kyrie Irving's the second
Draymond.
biggest star besides KD on the Warriors. Or not?
Oh no, Curry's the biggest star.
I
than
mean
him.
before, like if you were talking before.
If you had
KD.
to rank him, it's Curry then him.
No,
yeah.
but say you took KD out of the situation and you switched him with Kyrie. Kyrie would go there. He'd be the second biggest star behind Steph.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying here.
Yes.
You know, you mentioned those other guys. The only guy that's on Kyrie's level is Steph.
Steph's better than Kyrie.
And that's it. Steph is historically he's the best shooter we've ever seen. You're going to join Kyrie, who's that top tier point guard in the league. People aren't going to forget Jason Tatum.
Well, he's not going to go alone either way.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Oh, shout out intern Nate calling to say hi. But no, that's what I'm saying here. You're still joining a team full of talent. Kyrie Irving, people aren't going to be able to deny that. You're going to play with one of the best point guards in the league. You still got Al Horford there. You got Jason Tatum there. You got Jaylen Brown. Who knows? Obviously with Gordon Hayward being moved, that roster's still going to be extremely talented.
No, it's a talented roster, but I just think it's a different situation.
This is a team people are projecting for the finals. You're telling me,
but they haven't won. They haven't won.
And yes,
crap yet.
But that talent is still there. Now you go ahead, right, with Gordon Hayward. If we go back to last offseason and we added Kyrie to that mix, Jason, you were out here saying, I think there's a chance they give the Warriors a run for their money.
Yeah, I do.
And you're telling me you were saying that before the season, but now we add Kyrie or KD into the mix. You're not going to feel that way?
Well, they're right where they should be. They're going to be right in the mix. Same spot as I said last year against the Warriors.
But they're better. They got KD over Gordon Hayward. I'm confused.
What are you asking me?
Jason Pombo.
I'm distracted. What are you asking me?
Oh, my God.
I don't know what you're asking me. I got 15 missed calls. What are you asking me?
Listen, if you're looking and you were saying before the season that with Gordon Hayward and this team,
they're going to the finals, yes.
And they would give the Warriors a run, you were hinting at the chance that they could pull something off.
Yes.
So you're telling me you switch out Gordon Hayward with Kevin Durant?
Oh, no, they're the favorites. They're the favorites, yeah.
Okay.
They're the favorites.
So how are you saying
the Warriors are a dynasty? Oh.
Jason Pombo, look at me. You have lost your mind.
No.
Oh, my God. Stop living in Kyrie's basement. This is embarrassing.
All right, the Warriors have won two. Before
Jason,
Durant joined them, they've won 2 or 3. The Celtics have won nothing. They have won nothing.
That's not my question.
What's your question?
It was talent. That was the word from the question.
I don't give a crap about talent. I'm talking about chips.
Talent.
I'm talking about championships.
That's a whole different conversation.
We're talking about championships.
You're talking about winning.
His image would be fixed if he went to the Celtics. That's all I'm saying.
Jason, I asked.
Yes.
Talent.
What about talent? What are you asking me?
That was my one question.
What are you asking me about talent?
The question I
what
asked?
are you asking me about talent?
Oh,
the Warriors are
Jason.
a better team than the Celtics. Correct?
I didn't disagree with that.
All right, that's my point. That's my point. That's my point.
That's not the argument. That's not the conversation we're having.
What conversation are you having?
That's your point. My question was, if KD went to the Celtics, I said, you don't think people would say he's leaving to join talent again?
Yeah, talent. But no, it's different.
That
totally
was the question.
Totally different.
Ben, what is it?
Totally
225.
different.
Take us off.
Totally
Thank you, everyone.
That's
Thank you.
not 35.
Pombo and Milliken, #1 in sports shenanigans for 2 years running. 4 to 7 every Tuesday, right here on 91.5 WMLN.
It was fun to be out there. It was the first step. So, just keep building and, looking forward to tomorrow.
All right, Jason, you want to credit that? Is that Nesson?
That was Nesson, Dustin Pedroia on Nesson after his first game.
Shout out, Ben.
Good job, Ben.
With our producer.
I was
producer
lost on that
sticker
one.
things. Yes. Yeah. Pedroia went and he played his first game.
How many innings did he play?
2 innings. He went 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. For people who didn't see his one hit, it was kind of like it was a hard hit ball to short. It bounced off the shortstop's glove.
He took a grounder, right?
Yes. Very side to side. Nothing too crazy. I don't know. The one game doesn't mean anything to me from Dustin Pedroia.
He hasn't played since, right?
Yes. So his next game, what's today?
Monday, the 11th.
Today's Monday, the 11th. I believe his next game they hope him to play is Saturday. Or no, that sounds wrong. No, I think that was this past Saturday. So there hasn't been much talk yet. We don't know exactly when Dustin Pedroia will play his next game. Yeah. It shouldn't be too long or anything crazy like that. But when it comes to PD, it's about not day to day, but multiple days in a row. I need to see how you feel after you play a game, 2 games in a row, 3 games in a row. One game, it doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, I think he needs to show consistency. He needs to show that he can hit with consistency. I think his defense is probably going to suffer. I think that's clear, but I think the major question is about his bat.
Yeah. I don't even know. I think the bat's going to be fine. I think he's going to keep hitting. He'll be at least 270, 280. It's just most of his value, especially in the big moments, was defense. Those diving plays up the middle to save a pitcher. One of the big things when we got like David Price and stuff was, Dustin Pedroia will be out there. He's going to be able to limit hits. He's going to help these pitchers get to where they need to be, ground balls. Remember how big the ground ball thing was for a while?
Oh, my gosh.
Rick Porcello got that extension solely off of that. Mm-hmm. And, it ended up playing out pretty well. He won a Cy Young and stuff, but we don't have that same defense from Pedroia we can expect, and I'm not going to get too excited. I need to see a week or two in the majors. Do I think he's going to be on the DL to start the year? Like I said earlier, I think they're starting to look like he might not be.
Oh, you don't think so anymore?
It's up in the air. It's before it felt pretty confident to me. Now I'm in the middle of it. I think if he truly can go and play, 3 or 4 of the first 7 games, something like that, they'll go with that. But if not, no risk.
I agree with you. Hopefully Pedroia can start off the year. It would be really unfortunate if not. Brock Holt, Nunez, how long can they hold up? Who knows? Marco Hernandez, who knows, Tyler? I'm still waiting on him.
Listen, man, we're staying hopeful out here. That's all you really
Chavis,
can do.
I think, isn't going to start off the year at second base, of course. I think it's likely AAA, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm here for 3 innings. I'm reading through some of Pedroia's quotes right now, just from the last couple days. But yeah, sorry if we sounded distracted there. We just had an intruder in the radio station. I don't know who that child was. But listen, I like Dustin Pedroia. I'm hopeful that he makes a good recovery here, but there's not much news coming from this. People who are using this to dictate what's going to happen with him is not the key. I'm sorry. Was that mean?
Nope, it's okay. Let's talk about Stephen Wright now.
Yes. You want to hit us with that?
I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, I never thought that it'd ever come down to this, but, I respect the joint drug, treatment program, and unfortunately, we couldn't figure out how, this particular substance got into my system, and at the end of the day, it falls on me to try to, prevent that, and unfortunately, it's somewhere it got into my body, and I don't know how, but it is what it is, and I just got to try to move on from it.
You've obviously had...
All right, yeah. Stephen Wright in a much, much better position than Dustin Pedroia, or not. Opposite. I just said that completely backwards.
I'm done with Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright, 80-game suspension for HGH. Sorry, was reading through a Pedroia article at the same time. But no, listen, Stephen Wright, 80 games. People don't realize he's also out for the postseason now.
Yes.
He's ineligible for that. So not only did you hurt yourself by trying to get back quicker, that's what it was, I'm guessing. He's saying he doesn't know how he ingested any of it.
No, that's exactly how it was. With Edelman and everybody else.
Yes.
That's exactly how it is. Ray Lewis.
Yeah, deer antler spray. Jeez. But with Stephen Wright, listen, you've missed most of the past 2 seasons. Injuries,
I'm out with him. I'm done. Totally done.
Completely? No, I can understand it. You had the domestic abuse situation.
Too much baggage.
Ago.
You had the domestic abuse. You had the knee injury that took him a year and a half.
Yeah.
I'm done with him.
If, the Red Sox, the only reason they're not done with him is because they don't have the talent in the bullpen to really completely cut ties.
And I thought he was going to be a big part of this roster.
No, I did too. I thought he was going to find his place here. And, Stephen Wright can move any which direction. And unlike Dustin Pedroia, where we had seen Pedroia, get in a game, kind of work towards it, Stephen Wright wasn't even pitching. He was not going to be ready by the start of the year. There was no chance. So not only did we know he was going to miss time, but now it seems like he did steroids to get back when we knew there was a chance he could miss that time in the beginning of the season, and we wouldn't have lost that postseason. Say he needed those 80 games to get healthy. Okay, whatever.
I'm totally done with Stephen Wright.
But
totally done.
But you think
what's his contract?
He's still on his original deal.
For how long is that?
What year is he under team control through? I'm guessing it's still probably next year. I'm guessing off the top of my head. But with Stephen Wright,
I don't mean to interrupt you, but Ben, hit it.
Oh, boom! Let's do it.
Breaking sports news on Pombo and Milliken, 91.5 WMLN.
According to Pro Football Talk, the Jaguars and Nick Foles could have a deal done by today.
Jeez, that's crazy. So yeah, look, Nick Foles is starting to progress. Kind of what we just talked about. Yeah.
Yeah, we are nothing we didn't
crazy.
know, but could get done today.
So Stephen Wright's actually a free agent in 2021.
2 years left.
Yes. Instead after next year. I don't know. With Stephen Wright, do I cut ties? I would if I had the talent. The Red Sox don't, so I guess you kind of hold on here. But this is extremely selfish. I think Rick Purcell's comments about him saying he owes the team an explanation, it's real. We've heard how many times Rick Purcell, when he was with Detroit, talked about how he didn't like the idea of PED, is very against it, wasn't really tolerable of it. Stephen Wright, now, listen, if you need the time back, you should have just taken it. We would have given you the first half of the year because we would have had you for the back end. Now we don't.
Yeah.
Selfish move.
I'm good. I'm good with Stephen Wright.
Yeah.
The Stephen Wright experiment has failed. What is he, 35, 36 now? Whatever it is, I'm done.
Listen.
See you later. Pack your bags.
When he said his knee was never going to be the same way again, that was enough.
It's too much baggage, man. That's 3 strikes, you're out. You had the domestic abuse thing, you had the knee injury, and now you have this, you're done.
Yeah.
Straight 3.
for Stephen Wright if I am the Red
Not to
Sox.
mention, you're not even worth that. Like he's a good player when he's on.
I think people forgot how good he was.
No, he was good.
Healthy.
He was good, but then the weather would be a little moist, and
a
that was
little
it.
rain, a little too much heat. You start sweating.
That was it.
I think with Stephen Wright, you hold on until you get enough pieces that it's okay to let him go, because right now he still could be a big piece in the second half. It's just, it's sad that the Red Sox bullpen's at this state.
Well, I'm not saying they cut him like tomorrow, but past this year.
Well, cut ties. What do you consider cut? Yeah.
I wouldn't be against it.
If this team had the talent, but you also got to remember the team control.
Can they completely just cut him like that?
Yeah, they could release him at any moment. Yeah. I was a little surprised after the domestic abuse situation. And I know he came out and he said.
Is he back together with the
Yeah. I believe Wright claimed it was just yelling and it was law.
Isn't that what happened, right?
Yeah, that's what he said. I don't.
And he had the knee injury.
Yes. Well, same injury as
sliding back
him
to
and Pedroia had the same surgery. So they're right on the same page. And when I heard that knee wasn't okay, I was already distant. Now you got a suspension. Who knows if he'll even be healthy when he comes back?
Probably not.
So I guess that transitions well into the Red Sox bullpen.
Yes.
Not great. Pretty
shelled.
bad.
Every single one of them.
Yeah. Heath Hembry has yet to pitch.
Neither has.
Who was the other name?
Crap.
I can't think of who it is. Brazier, yes, who's dealing with his infected toe. He's on the path to coming back from that. Brazier seems to be
on the path of coming back from that.
Listen, Brazier's missed some time now. We're getting deep into camp.
Infected, my guy.
He had to fly to Boston to get it checked out.
You don't get it. You don't get it, Tyler.
Sorry.
It's infected.
How infected do your feet be, Jason? But yeah, am I concerned with this bullpen? Yep, a little bit. I was really hoping Tyler
That's
Thunberg.
different because last week or the week before, you were really high on it.
I wasn't high, but I felt like they can get by. When I say concerned, I'm not speaking the first half of the year. I think they could get through the first half and be fine. Matt Barnes getting rocked doesn't mean anything to me.
Tyler Thornburg getting rocked means stuff to me.
Yes, me too, especially.
And Barnes only pitched one inning, I think.
Yeah. And the reason Thornburg sticks out is because Core has gone out and said these innings mean something. Like, we're going out, he can't keep getting shelled out there. You know, this is supposed to be the best he's looked. He's just getting smacked up. The body language isn't great on the mound. He seems down on himself. And the issue with Tyler Thornburg is, as great of a ceiling he could have in this bullpen, his floor is getting released.
How about this? This is from Jason, what's his last name? Mastrodonato from the Globe, right? Matt Barnes, 1 inning, 4 earned runs. Tyler Thornburg, 4 innings, 7 earned runs. Brandon Workman, 5 innings, 4 earned runs. Hector Velasquez, 6 2/3, 8 runs. Brian Johnson, 3 1/3, 4 runs. Colton Brewer, 5 innings, 4 runs. Bobby Pointer, 6 innings, 2 runs. What's Walden's first name? Marcus Walden.
Yeah.
7 innings, 1 run. Encouraging.
Yeah.
And then Mejia, 3 innings, 2 earned runs.
Yeah. With spring training, when it comes to vets, I don't put a ton into it. Like,
so Matt
Barnes,
Tyler Thornburg, I'm going to read into 4 innings, 7 runs.
Yep.
I think Colton Brewer, I'm going to read into a little bit. 5 innings, 4 runs.
Yeah, I think it's fine with Colton Brewer. The reports continue to be good in the backfield with him, and I think that's what's standing through because he's made such a repertoire change. And we've seen how good he's looked at times already this spring training. The movement on his pitches, some of the strikeouts. You know, it's not a production issue. It's what you see in those little, a pitch here, a pitch there. That's what sticks out in spring training. Colin Brewer's had some big swings and misses so far. Tyler Thornburg's not getting any of that.
Bad.
No, he's just straight
Saturday
up
against the Mets, he got shelled.
He's just not even looking competitive out there. If I can see you go out there and you're getting swings and misses, but you're giving up some cheap hits, whatever it may be, the ball carries down in spring training in a way that's insane to the rest of the MLB. I don't freak out. There's a reason there's that confidence. Seeing how quickly Cora backed off his confidence at Thornburg is all I really felt like should shine through in that story. Because you can see Cora losing confidence by outing.
Yeah.
It started...
That's definitely not a good sign.
Yeah, it started with him saying he's looked the best he's seen since he got here, dominating in the backfield, whatever it may be. Gets into a game. Oh, it's 1 game. Then it was 2 games. Now it's Thornburg's going to need to figure it out and show us something. You don't hear that with the other relievers. You're not hearing them lower their expectations on certain guys. When you hear expectations lower in spring training, that's what sticks through because you got to do a lot to do real your value during these months.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. What we got? Michael Chavis next?
Yep, you can talk about Chavis.
Okay, Michael Chavis continues to light it up. Do I think much has changed with where he's going this season? Around middle of the year, July, August, maybe a little after the All-Star break, I think you're going to see him come up. That bat special. He's going to get some big ones down the stretch. Utility-wise, if he can figure out second base, he's shown to be at least capable at third and first. You start to welcome a piece that Cora would probably love on his bench.
Yeah. Chavis, obviously raking in spring training. How many home runs did he have? 4 or 5?
4, yeah. And with Pedroia, Pedroia is here. No one's ever taken second base away from him, saying he can't have the starting job. But we still haven't seen him play back-to-back days. And it's March 11th. So we don't have a ton of time. The season starts early this year. A lot of people, I think, opening day is March 28th.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you think about it.
It's in Seattle, right?
Yeah,
In Seattle?
17 days from now is opening day. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And Dustin Pedroia hasn't played back-to-back games.
Yeah.
That's something that you got to think about.
Yeah.
That's why when we talked about Pedroia earlier, wasn't too excited about it. I need to see him in the 162-game schedule kind of thing. And with Chavis, he'll be that option later in the year, but for now, enjoy.
I got one last baseball topic for you. So did you see you know what I'm talking about?
Bryce Harper.
4 outfielders. Is that going to become a trend?
Teams have done it before. This isn't something nobody's seen. I think for Harper, the shift has really bothered him.
Clearly,
yeah.
yes.
Even in production, one of the reasons he got so selective was he kept hitting into that shift over and over. He got sick of some of those rough outs. I think you'll see it. I think teams are going to keep moving towards analytics because if there's a rule where I can go position and there's a better chance of me getting you out, why aren't I going to do it? And unless there's a shift rule that comes out in the next few years, which people are petitioning for. There's some. I'm not that guy.
Me neither.
It makes baseball harder, and listen, there's always going to be the traditional 9 positions, but you're telling me if there's a way I can be in a better spot, if you told on a football field a corner can't play deeper because he thinks that's the right play on that,
I agree.
or play a little more tight end on a wide receiver, you are not going to take that away because that's a weird spot to line up technically. No, it is what it is. You're going to move guys to put your team in the best position every game.
So could that become more of a trend?
Yeah, I think it will. I think you'll see some teams. It's not going to become end of the world, but there'll be certain hitters who will probably face it each year.
Harper,
pull hitters. I think David Ortiz could have been one of those guys.
Ortiz, yeah. Adam Dunn.
Yeah, God, Adam Dunn. He was a big dude. Holy crap. He was like 265. Jason, don't give me that look. Move on to the questions.
Your questions and their answers. It's Questions with Pombo and Milliken on 91.5 WMLN.
Okay.
This is Questions with Pombo and Milliken.
Yes. Oh, that was beautiful. We tried to come up with a good idea. We'll keep working.
We'll get there.
Hey, at least we got 3 questions, right?
We had a few more. Yeah,
I
only have 3
we
listed
balling.
here. Yeah, we had some more as the show has progressed. First question is from Burnett. Out there in California right now, in the Bay Area with this lady. He's enjoying himself. He sent me some Snapchats. Good for him, right?
Bro, if you've earned it, he's been stressed out. The Wiggle, you may not be the best show, but second tier is a hard job. Keep working hard, buddy.
Which wide receiver should the Patriots target in free agency?
There's not a ton I love in free agency. Are we talking guys not re-signing?
That's what the question said.
I love the idea of Patterson and Dorsett. I think they both fit this team very well.
Patterson's gone. Dorsett's also gone.
You think the Danny Amendola no longer being kind of
Patterson's going to max out here. Well, I think he's gone. I think some team's going to pay him.
Yeah. I think Patterson's not impossible. I think solely from the point of the specialty role. And I think he knows no matter where he goes, he's not going to get the same opportunities he had there.
Dorsett, there's a chance. I really think there's a chance Hogan comes back.
Do you have anyone you're in love with? Are you one of those Humphrey guys?
I like Humphreys.
I
do like Adam Humphreys, but he's going to want 10, 11.
Yeah, I've heard, 9, 10, somewhere in that range.
I do like Humphreys, though. Next question is from James.
We didn't even. Who do you like, Jason? You got any names you're in love with?
I said Humphreys.
Oh, no. So you are a Humphreys guy?
Humphreys,
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't imagine them spending that much. I feel like you could get similar production out of a guy like Dorsett. Not your true typical slot receiver.
I think the best way the Patriots are going to address the receiver position is through the draft and through trade.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Does Martellus Bennett's decision have any impact on Gronk? I say no.
No, I 100% don't, because I think they'd serve very different roles on this team. There was reps for Dwayne Allen out there. I think Martellus Bennett is the Dwayne Allen role.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or role, I should say.
Being that secondary tight end, Dwayne Allen really never lived up to the hype. He was a great blocker, poor pass catcher. I think he had 13 catches in like 2 years.
Yeah.
He had 1 touchdown. Real bad. Next question is from Jake, who's our guest on air as well today. Who is currently the best player in the NBA right now?
I have to go KD.
You go KD?
Yeah. You Giannis?
I think I go KD. It's like I have
close.
3. It's KD, Giannis, Harden.
Yeah.
You can put them 1A, 1B, 1C.
I think KD's just so efficient at this point. It's ridiculous. He's on a different pace. He goes out here. He puts up an easy 28 real quick. You may want to go and complain, Giannis still plays hard defense all the time. Giannis also isn't KD's age. You know what I mean? That's what you got to keep in mind. He doesn't have the playoff minutes that KD's logged over the years either. I'll stick with KD, especially after that moment in LeBron's face last year.
Yeah, it's close. Next question is from our former intern, Nathaniel.
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds the Jets trade the third pick to a team in their division? I'm predicting it'll be the Redskins in another RG3-like trade.
Or conference, we should say.
I think that's what he meant.
Poor Nate. Can you repeat that question? I didn't hear any of it.
All right,
I'm
so
sorry.
do you see the Jets trading down for a team that would take a quarterback third overall?
I don't think it's impossible. Unless Haskins' stock really makes a big jump. It seems, and not that it's not where it is. He's projected to go 6 overall. But if I guess someone steps up in that time and they're like, we want to step and take that, I think the Jets could be a candidate to trade back.
I think they are probably going to trade down. I think a team like the Giants are probably going to want to trade up. I really think that's a possibility. A team like the Dolphins, another team that I could see trading up. I'm going to go with the Jets trading down as of right now.
Okay.
Last question from Nate. So he's got a fantasy baseball draft tonight, Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some potential late-round fantasy sleepers he should consider tonight?
Late round?
That's what he says.
How late?
He said late.
Are we talking like?
He's saying like midnight, 1 a.m.? What do you say?
If you're looking for guys who could be...
Dad jokes. Gotta love him. Right, Ben? Ben knows.
You're killing it, Jason.
10 out of 10,
Pombo.
Jason.
I guess my low buys, I think that could become something special. Josh Harrison over with the Detroit Tigers. I think not only will he get a lot at bats throughout the year, he's a utility guy. That roster's extremely dead. The Detroit Tigers are going to be awful. I think you could go and get Harrison. He's going to steal bases for you. A little pop, going to hit for average. But at the same time, I think he's dealt around the trade deadline. Goes to a competitive team that could really launch him forward. I think a guy like Michael Chavis with the Red Sox, if you're looking for someone who can hop
you draft him, huh?
I don't think that's that crazy. A lot of people use those last draft picks on that minor league talent that's like right on the edge. But people are like, you got to wait a month or two, see how things play out.
30 rounds in the draft, 9 teams.
30 rounds. That's a deep
draft.
MLB draft right there. Other crazy names that I'm really in love with. I'd look down, go through the Braves, some of the starting pitching they have coming up, Touki Toussaint, some of those guys. I think there's a lot of innings there that they're going to have to pitch through. And if they click, like a lot of people are saying the Braves will, you could cling on to that. Outside of that, we're talking late rounds.
30, yeah. So what's 30 times 9?
I can't do that.
270?
I don't know. Is that the math?
30 times 9?
Ben Brophy, do you have anything on that math?
Jake, you said
I believe it's a
right?
number, but I don't
wow. Look at you changing the game.
I know, right?
Yeah. So
is it 270? Thank you, Jake. Yes.
Wow, look at you, Jason Pombo. Besides that, around the league, guys I really love. Wade Miley probably will not go super
He's
late.
An innings eater.
Yeah, no, probably not super late, but a lot of guys are going to push off. I think he could do something special over with Houston. We've seen a lot of guys reinvent themselves there over the past few years.
So somebody tweeted after Nate's tweet, his username or his @name says @fantasybaseball_dog.
Oh my!
He said you should consider Byron Buxton. He's still capable of a 2020 season.
Byron Buxton's not going that late.
Well, I don't know how late he just considered.
No,
I don't think he knew Nate's draft was a million rounds.
Yeah, Byron Buxton himself, he's one of the most well-rounded players in the MLB. I believe he finished he's a couple years back now. It's been a couple rough back-to-back, but being a guy who's not only great defensively, has power, showing the ability in the minors to hit for average. He's one reason he was a 5-tool prospect coming up. Soroka from the Braves, pitching prospect. I think he's one of those. He had the no-hit bid after 6 innings last year where he really came up against the Mets. Sorry, Nate. But those are the guys I would kind of lean towards. The typical baseball fan may
You doing
not know.
fantasy baseball this year?
I probably will.
Yeah. I like fantasy baseball. It's just a lot. It's a lot of work.
I think I'm the 2-time defending champ in the league that dies.
The league that dies every year. All of a sudden,
I
I wake up one morning and I'm like, you know what? I want to play fantasy baseball. I call Tyler. I call Jake. I call Nate. And we end up getting a league. Dylan usually sucks and Tyler usually wins. That's how it goes.
Oh my God.
Dylan's drafting David Ortiz and Dustin Pedroia.
I want to go in on Byron Buxton real quick before we get off air here.
Oh, this Dylan slander. I love you, Dylan.
No, we do love Dylan. I don't want anyone to think that. Yeah, like I was saying, you look back to Buxton's 2017, he played 140 games. He had 253, 314 with 16 home runs. And in that time, 29 bags. Guess where he finished in MVP voting?
Where?
18th, and he won a Gold Glove.
Wow.
That's why I don't see him going late. Listen, it was a rough year, 2018, but he was injured. I think he comes back this year. You know what? I'll say he finishes in that range probably for an MVP once again.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, 18-ish, yeah.
So, Nate put this in the group chat yesterday.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You'd go Trout first, right?
I don't even think about it. Listen, as much as I love Mookie Betts, Mike Trout, I don't think people realize how special of a baseball player he is. Not only is he by far the best player of this generation, but he's on pace to get to that Mickey Mantle numbers tier, and that's ridiculous.
That's high regard.
Yes. Last year, his WAR was 10.2.
What's the highest WAR of all time?
I don't know off the top of my head. Okay. But that 10.8 WAR, he did that in 140 games.
Wow.
Now, we'll compare that with Mookie Betts, right? Now, Mookie Betts won the AL MVP last year.
So you wouldn't even take Mookie second?
No, I would. Mookie would be my tier 2.
I think I'd take Arenado second.
Yeah. Over Mookie?
I think I would.
That's tough. So last year, Mookie played in 136 games and actually finished with a 10.9, so 0.7 higher than Trout. Pretty crazy. That's a one-year outlier. Mike Trout's been right there every single. We had a little fallback the year before where Mookie hit 264. You're not going to have that. Mike Trout's going to be amazing no matter what. I'm expecting a little regression. Yeah. I think Mookie's going to probably drop down to 320, 315 this year. That's not taking it away. It's just not Mike Trout. Is that us?
We're going to conclude with one thing.
Go ahead.
We're going to talk a little bit New England Bobcats.
Oh, my God. So, if you guys are a fan of intern Dylan, next summer he'll be trying out. What do they call the New England Bobcats?
New England Bobcats. So,
arena football.
I'm scrolling through my Facebook page yesterday. Saturday I was at work, and I saw this page come up. It said the New England Bobcats are coming to Fall River. So I live around the area, right? And I'm like, wow, interesting.
Dylan's from the area, from what I've heard.
The area. Is what I've heard. Catch him there. So the New England Bobcats, they play in the AAL. It's called the American Arena League.
Not the AAF.
No, not the AAF. And they're going to be playing at Driscoll Ice Arena in Fall River. It's obviously they're going to convert it to a football field. Yeah. It's like an indoor football thing, and I'm going to go support, right?
Well, yeah, we're going to start the pennies jar here, and we're hoping probably after a couple weeks we can get season tickets.
$15.
Is that crazy? What, a clean $100 bill straight out the ATM.
Ben, you going to come?
I'll go. Let's do this.
All right.
Pombo Milliken live.
Do you want?
We could do a pregame show.
Us. Yeah,
absolutely.
They should be promoting us.
Hey, listen, Fall River, you don't have a lot going for you right now, so please, if you want to work with some great people, we're here.
Hey, they got the one and only Dylan Sariva, okay?
Yes.
That's all you need.
Dylan, who sometimes visits, claims you, but does not live there. What does that have to say about Fall River? They're in some crisis mode, aren't they?
No, we're all right.
Didn't the mayor just All right. Well, before we incriminate ourselves, Jason, I don't know what kind of ring you're included in here, but thanks for tuning in to Pombo and Milliken, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken. Don't forget, every single episode is uploaded onto YouTube right after the show, so make sure if you missed any of the episode today,
English out here.
If you missed any of the episode today, just log on to YouTube and search Pombo and Milliken. Subscribe and watch. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Pombo and Milliken on YouTube. Don't forget, every episode airs live on the WMLN app. Just search WMLN in your Apple or Google Play Store.